This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. Welcome to the Grand Finals day. Now, of course, you may realize I am not Yinzu, nor am I GB, or anyone else who is actually qualified to be doing this job. I am just a caster, so you might be thinking, what the hell is going on? Well, I have a special guest. I also have Hypark. I guess you could be a special guest too.
I'll take it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Cool, and we will introduce this delightful man in just a moment's time, but if you are wondering what we are doing, we are just now moments away, about 10 minutes, give or take, from getting to see...
something pretty exciting,
yeah. Yeah, getting to get a little hands-on action with Clove. So I know some of you out there, if you have Twitter and or Reddit, may have had a little glimpse, but we promise you, this is way better. So you don't want to be watching it there, you want to watch it here. But Dan, it is a pleasure to have you here. If they haven't already seen your Twitter handle, they may know who you are at this point. But Dan, why don't you introduce yourself to the lovely people at home?
Sure. So my name is Dan Hardison. I'm a game designer on the VALORANT Agents team. You may know me as Penguin. That's my gamer tag handle, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, so
short
any of you,
sweet,
short and sweet, it works. But again, if you don't know who Dan is, go check out the Twitter because he actually uses it and he has a personality, which is crazy. And speaking,
that's why we dragged him on here.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of socials, though, this is your time. We want your thoughts. Get in touch with us before the finals really kicks off. Obviously, GENG and Sentinels are waiting. This is when we want your thoughts. The MasterCard fan poll, QR card down below. QR code down below. Scan it. Let us know who you think is winning. Now, Michael, real briefly, who do you think's winning that one, social-wise, on the Twitters?
Social-wise?
Yeah,
well, social-wise, I think Sentinels might win that poll just by a little bit. But series, I'm still sticking to my guns. GENG.
Oh, I mean,
I'll just say,
prediction.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think GENG has looked insane on this event so far. They have took W Gaming to another level. They challenged PRX and Sentinels, both split maps. They kind of took it to them. I was really impressed. Yeah, I mean, we've been given a dev who actually watches esports, which is wild. So we are going to harass you throughout the game, and I'm going to put myself in front of the bus rather than them. But we get to talk about... Okay, look. We'll talk about Clove in a little bit of time. Once the players are ready, they're taking their time. You know who's coming out. They're getting ready. But we get to kind of pick your brain a little bit about, I guess, the bigger picture. And I kind of want to get those at home to know you as well as we do, who've harassed you, followed you, and DM'd you on Twitter. And it's mostly, let's kind of roll it back to the start. So is this the first agent you've personally launched here? And could you break down a little process of that? I know Mike's been dying to kind of get the behind-the-scenes process, but is this your first agent you've brought in? Yeah, this is the first agent I've done from start to finish. So I did a little bit of balance work prior to starting this agent to kind of onboard onto the team, but this was the first one I started. I prototyped. You know, obviously there's a lot of help, a lot of other people involved throughout the whole thing, but this was like the whole, you know.
This is your shebang, right?
Yeah,
this is yours.
Okay, so balance-wise, what else? What are you responsible for?
What am I responsible for? Yeah, so I'm responsible for, you know, Phoenix. I made his flash a little good. That might have been, you know, might have gone a little too far on that, but, you know, now I don't really know if I want to undo a nerf or a buff to Phoenix, you know, at this point. So it's kind of worked out better than I expected it to. It things really fast. Then I also, you know, made the very unpopular first chamber change where I removed the trap, or the second global. The second global chamber trap. That was a pretty good ability.
Hey, look. This now, you've put that out.
It's a safe space.
Yeah, you're fine. You're safe here.
Yeah, I'm here.
The internet, less so. However, speaking of other people, the outside world, we have the delights of the vertical stream joining us for a moment here. They're actually set up right up there. I can kind of see them. Zoe, Chrissy, how are you doing? It's fabulous to have you here. How's your day going so far?
Hi, Pansy! We can kind of see you right now, too. We're very far away. They put us up here. We're vertical typically because we are tall.
True.
We are tall.
We just can't fit in a horizontal screen.
They just couldn't fit us. They couldn't fit our egos in a wide screen. It had to be
it's an ego issue, really.
Speaking of, Pansy, you were like, you're not qualified for this? I think you're the best person for the job.
I love the lies you tell to me, Chrissy. That's the sort of energy we need coming into this. Just big me up. But what can people expect from the vertical stream? Give us a brief little, pitch me it. Give me that pitch real quick. What's going on
Everything
up
and then some. Pansy, I mean, this is chill. This is a safe space up here, actually. Yeah, no, we're talking about Valorant, obviously. We're kind of low-key commentating on the games that are going on, but also we're just having fun with it.
Yeah.
So if you want to join us to talk about everything and nothing, this is the right place for you.
And we are bringing in a lot of really fun guests throughout the day. We've actually abandoned Mitch and Tom over at the merch booth, so they are we're live on TikTok and on YouTube in the shorts format for the Valorant Esports channel for both. And Mitch and Tom are holding down the fort right now. They are just at the merch booth. We don't really know what's happened to them. We may never come back, but but we're hanging out here for now.
It's fantastic to hear from you both. Honestly, it's a blast over there. If you haven't already checked it out, you absolutely should. They're far too funny for their own good. But now, I'll let you guys go so you can focus on that vertical stream, and I can start harassing you once again with questions. You can already hear it now. The audience is getting riled up, right? Like, this is starting to really kick off here. But Mike, I know you had a couple of questions to fire at this man. So anything at the tip of your mind that you wanted to bring in here?
I guess the big question is where does the inspiration come from, I guess, from idea, conception-wise? Where do you start with that process, and I guess how was that for you?
Yeah. So ideation and process, like, obviously there's some amount of that that's like product driven, some of that it's like, hey, what do we need within the game? And, you know, honestly, when I heard that we wanted to work on a controller, I wanted to jump on that problem because I actually play a lot of controller, and I was like, oh, I think I have some ideas.
No bias, right?
Yeah, no bias here. But I felt like I had some ideas that we could, you know, test around, see how they worked in the game. And we were pleasantly surprised with how some of the stuff worked, honestly. Like, we were kind of expecting a lot of the abilities to be, like, way too crazy, way too wild early. And then, you know, people weren't that frustrated by them initially, which is, like, really crazy.
That's pretty
Bonus,
good.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's, like, really rare in a game like Valorant that you get to use these abilities and someone else isn't having a lot less fun as a result. So we were really excited about that.
Okay, so I guess in terms of development, how different is Clove now versus the first version?
Oh my god, the first version was an entirely different character. Unbelievable.
Really?
We spent a ton of time prototyping these like really wild stuff because when we knew we wanted to experiment with post-death, we wanted to make sure we kind of covered that whole design space. So I tried like tons of different versions where like you could cast every ability after death. You could cast some hilariously powerful abilities after death. It was really bad. It was really frustrating. Really
toned down a little bit.
Yeah, we had to kind of keep chipping around until we figured out what exactly worked, what was the best, the most fun for all parties involved. And I'm pretty happy with the results, honestly.
I think we're going to see the proof of that in a moment's time. I know I've just seen the audience starting to get towards the walkout area. Everyone's now starting to congregate around because the players coming out soon. We're going to have the likes of, I think, Mixwell coming out. We've got
big
Mimi,
names up there, yeah.
We've got Kaide. You know, as said, there are some genuinely incredible players here. So, like, look at this roster. You've got Team Spain. Now, you know, I know Mixwell. The rest, a little less so, but there are big names here. And I just hope Mixwell's playing that agent. I want to see what he does, right? Like, I want to see what Mixwell can do with that. And on the other side, the international team, we've taken a tour around the globe and brought you some of the best people possible. Mike, is there anything you're looking out for in this game? Is there anything you're, especially with Clove in play?
I mean, I'm hoping to see the Mimi Mixwell Clove head-to-head.
Oh, that would be kind of good. That'd be kind of good. No, I'm on board. I'm on board.
No, I no bias, obviously, whatsoever. But
EMEA bias,
wow.
Hypoc and Pansy Classic.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah,
no.
true.
Only in Reddit.
So many things only exist on Reddit. Now, before we get you into trouble, is there anything with Clove, as we're getting very, very close to getting to see it in action, is there anything you're wanting to see specifically? Ult-wise, some of the abilities, something you'd love to see happen potentially during the show match?
Yeah, I think the ult has a lot of really great moments. There's a lot of, like, honestly, comedy that comes about as a result of the ult. Like, one of the things that we saw is, like, players really like to bully other players and, like, make sure the ultimate times out. That's kind of like the playing against case that is really funny and really entertaining to look out for. I think playing as, it's really powerful at checkmating post plants or doing kind of like these really crazy, like, turnaround situations or just straight execing onto a site. Like, it's kind of similar to a Reign of Dismiss in that way, that it just kind of breaks timings and makes things get a little crazy.
And I know a lot of us who've seen some of the, you know, information that got out and have been waiting to see what it looks like practically. I think we were just hoping maybe we could see Paper X with it or something like that, right? It's basically like aggressive Omen. Omen with allows you to rush. Like, give me some of that action. So again, there's a lot of things we're excited for here, but we are getting very close by. We're about 40 seconds away from actually jumping into this fully and getting at least the players on the stage, getting everyone starting to build into this. Mike, I'll give you a prediction on the game. International, Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, unlucky. Unlucky.
I mean, I've got to lean Mixwell's way. It's got to be
Are you just
Team
pandering?
Spain. Home crowd pandering?
They can't even hear us.
They can't. but I'm kind of with them, to be honest.
Okay, okay. And you, which team are you going for?
I think communication is huge in Valorant. I think I gotta go with Team Spain. I don't know how much, how much the skills match up, but I think like really I gotta go with comms.
Okay, we've alluded to it. Let's get really in-depth, hands-on with Clove.
Welcome, folks. It's Sasha and Bren, joined by John Gasecki, Agents Lead on Valorant, and Dan Hardison, Game Designer on Valorant as well. That was a vibe, that video.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure exactly what I saw.
I mean, the aesthetic is awesome, for one. Yeah, I mean, with Clove, there was something going on with, like, post-death, but coming back to life in some way or form. But generally as well, I mean, you look at the art style, you look at the direction you guys are taking Clove.
It's so cool.
It is so damn cool and so different to what you'd expect, where you know, maybe going skull and bones and a bit more grungy. But talk to me a bit about that process as well, where you went with this design choice for Clove.
The team definitely talked about the darker, grungier aesthetic right from the get-go, and Dan was like, hey, I'm gonna give you post-death, what can you do with this? And we really wanted to challenge ourselves in finding a twist to that. What is something that could be different? Early on, we landed in this spot around what we called like a beautiful death. How do we make death appealing? How do we make it very inviting? And that contrast, that double take, was something that kind of like colored the entirety of Clove, from the way their abilities look to this like really appealing, cool fashion sense that has like a little bit of an edge to it, to their personality that's like mischievous and risk-taking, but also like warm and inviting. And so that contrast really was the through line for everything of their looks and personality.
Well, we normally go through the agents by kind of working our way along.
Yeah.
But I really think it makes more sense with Clove to work backwards and start with the ultimate. So that's where I want to ask my first question. You're talking about there being something after death, almost a spiritual sense. What is the ultimate then? How is this working?
Yeah, so the way the ultimate works is after you die, you have a few seconds where you can still press your ultimate key. And then after you press your ultimate, you have a 12-second window where you need to get a kill or a damaging assist to stay within the round. You also get like a 2-second window where you can reposition, move around, kind of similar to Reyna's Dismiss, so you can pick where you come back and start to plan to take your next fight.
And it's called Not Dead Yet. Just Not Dead Yet, straight up.
That's a great name.
It's really cool.
It is a great name. So I want to move on then to the smoke ability for Clove, which is called Ruse. And because there is a twist here as well, it's not like other standard controller agents. You can also use Ruse while you've died. So can you walk me through that?
We kind of wanted Clove to be a more aggressive agent who would be more comfortable taking risks, being proactive, and not, you know, watching the whole round unfold while they're just trying to figure out what to do with their team. So we kind of ended up just saying, hey, you can still do this after you die. So that's kind of the design inspiration behind Ruse.
I'm not going to get flamed for going down first in my ranked games.
I mean, you might still, maybe.
I might do. It depends how I die, really.
Depends if you get kills, yeah. But that's like an intentional decision by you guys in terms of trying to fulfill a niche that you thought was missing from the game?
Yeah, we kind of felt like there wasn't that much competition within the controller role for really aggressive agents who wanted to make plays individually. We felt like there was kind of a lot of role competition for really cerebral characters who really rewarded you for staying alive and playing in the back and making sure you got a lot of value for your team, but there wasn't much for the more impulsive, aggressive type of Valorant player.
So you mentioned that the ultimate ability required a damaging assist. So that's where the Q medal seems really interesting, because that is a damaging ability, but using a decay mechanic. So can you walk us through how players might use this?
Yeah, so to combo kind of the ultimate Not Dead Yet with the Q, you really want to make sure that you debuff someone with the Q, and then if you kill them or assist them, then you'll manage to stay alive in the ultimate. So that's kind of intended by design, that you can use this Q when you're back alive to try to get a last-minute save or stay within the round.
Yeah, and it's not something you can use for lineups. It debts on a timer when you throw it, right? So yeah, it's very like intentional. Do you think people are going to be like cooking up like specific spots for it where you throw it out?
Yeah, I think there will be specific spots where it's like quite powerful. I think a lot of the staging space fights on a lot of our maps are really good for it, like Lotus A, where you're running out and it's kind of the war zone of utility. Yeah, Rubble. It's really good in spots like that, especially combining with other agents' utility. So just kind of trying to play around those staging spaces are where I expect it to shine most, because it can kind of just explode on your head really quickly.
So let's move on to the first ability that we're covering last here, which is Pick Me Up. So this one, again, incentivizing that more aggressive playstyle rather than trying to stay alive for as long as possible. It gives you something, a reward for going out there and getting kills.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that there were really clear signals for players that you want to play this character aggressively compared to other controllers. A lot of controller players, when we were first testing the character, were really, really afraid to take risks, and it was like, oh, we needed to give them clear incentives. And the easiest way to do that from a design perspective is to say, hey, you can actually only press this button if you've killed someone or if you've damaged someone. So that was kind of like the leading design inspiration there.
And what is Clove getting from Pick Me Up?
Clove gets a speed boost and a temporary overheal that is kind of similar to Reyna's overheal, a little bit different on the texture side of things in that all of the healing you get is temporary. So if you don't use the speed boost to go get more kills with your overheal, then it'll all go away. So you kind of have to assess if it's worth pushing the limits, and I kind of hope people decide it's worth it most of the time.
I'm a smokes main because I tend to just pick what my team needs. I don't think my team's going to let me pick smokes anymore. This is going to be insta-locked immediately.
Your role is going to be stolen.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to see how it actually plays out, and I believe we've got something cooked up right after this. So thank you very much, John and Dan, for joining us. Really appreciate you explaining how Clove works, and we're going to send things off to a taste of how this agent is actually going to function in a real game environment.
What an exceptional way to start the day. We got to see all the behind goodies. We got to have a nice little chat with Dan, and now we get to see it live in front of us. And I couldn't imagine better players to be doing this, Mike. I mean, apart from Angel, maybe with the whole like death mechanic, but regardless, I mean, this is so exciting. Yeah, literally, you just went, Angel needs some help.
Hey, all I'm saying is there's a definite crowd buff.
Oh,
everyone heard it.
That was louder than half the teams. I'm not even kidding. When Mixwell walked out, I mean, it wasn't just Mixwell. I mean, Team Spain is stacked, and they got pumped up. The audience, you can hear it. They're behind them. And look, I'm a little biased. I do like that jersey as well there. That looks kind of good. But no, we were saying we'd love to see Mixwell kind of getting hands-on with that agent. We'd love to see Mimi on the other side as well. You know, it's see what they can come up with.
Well, I saw Mimi's wearing a sleeve today, so you know she is locked in for this.
No, you're absolutely right. I was trying to see if we could sneak a peek and see if they've already done the agent select. You know what I mean? Just catch a little glance. But again, so cool to have some of these creators come out here. I'm looking next one. He's already handled the audience. But he's not even bothered to do agent. He just scribbled out.
I hope that's not a spoiler.
Yeah, please don't play. If you don't mind. But expectations here. Hopes, what are you wanting to see, Dan? If you could pick one thing to see, do you want to see that Rez come into play?
What's the scenario you're looking for?
What are you dreaming of here?
Yeah. I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most is one of the things when you have these Clove mirror matchups that we saw in Dev is you do have rounds where both teams know it's very important to win. It's the important buy round. So you see some absolutely hysterical double Clove ult situations where everyone is trying to frag and it becomes just a huge, bloodbath.
Here we go, we got it locked in. Do we get our dreams? We do. Mixwell up on Clove.
We've got the heads
ahead. Let's go. Okay, so people at home, if you want to get in touch, use the hashtag. I can't remember what it is, but I'm sure you know it by now because you talk to us and we appreciate it. Thoughts, feelings, who's winning this one? And also, Mimi or Mixwell, who's going to be the better Clove here? Mike?
Yeah, where's the Clove diff coming
from? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Mike, quick prediction. Mixwell and Mimi. I'm going Mimi to the sleeve. I see the sleeve, I'm on board.
I see the sleeve. I'm a little bit worried now for Mixwell to be honest with you, but I'm still sticking with Team Spain. That crowd buff goes hard today.
It's huge. How about you, Mixwell? Mimi, where are we going?
Yeah, I think I'll root for Mimi individually.
Okay,
I'll root for Mimi. I think I agree with the sleeve.
The sleeve
looking very
is big.
dialed in. Very dialed in, but the comms buff is huge.
Yeah, the comms buff, I don't even want to talk about that because it's such a real thing as well, right? It's like, we've got such a variety of players from different regions, different influences coming in to celebrate this, to show off this new agent, and I cannot wait to see this in action. Unfortunately, if you're paying attention, we've got Prius taking us through. So you know we're going to miss a couple 1v2s here,
We're
Mike.
Say fans, we should see all of the abilities in action, catching every single one.
I'm praying Yeti or Heather's there,
Praying on the free cam.
Yeah. You know what's up. All right, so look, before we get ourselves into trouble, because they said, look, have fun today, Lauren. You get to be funny, and Dan's going, you can have some fun with it. So I'm just going to keep it a little in check. But there was something you were saying kind of while we were watching that interview is how strong some of these abilities are kind of when you look towards almost pistol rounds and how they can kind of, I guess not encourage necessarily, but it really suits it in action because you get so much more of a reward for it. So I'm kind of hoping we see off the rip. Oh my word.
Holy.
Yep. Gotta love being in Spain, baby. Couple seconds away now. But yeah, I'm looking for these pistol rounds to maybe highlight some of those abilities we noted in the videos. Incredible. This isn't even the grand finals, so listen to these guys.
What a warm-up for the crowd as well.
Absolutely. An absolute celebration of Valorant here. And we're getting into this one. Team International up against Team Spain. And we're starting with where we want to be. Mimi, show us what you got here.
Yeah, really interesting different buys from Mixwell versus Mimi here.
That's very true, actually. Just kind of the classic and then opting for the utility kit a little heavier and also...
Only one smoke, Mixwell?
I love the judgment. I love it.
Yeah.
Immediately, yeah.
Instantaneous. Mimi has fallen, however. Looking for the follow-up potentially. They're banking on Mixwell to do some damage now. Show us a little something, Mixwell. Seeing the response from the rest of the side. Hitbox coming through. Oh, lovely little pinch in middle. And the crowd's loving it. They are absolutely pumped up for this. And there's just not much play here. Nice try from Kaide, but Mixwell with the punish. Starting to see a little bit of Clove's work there coming into effect.
Jisoo left now. Well, 1v5. Spike's not in the best spot for this, I'll be honest.
No, probably not.
Well, not anymore.
Definitely not now. Flawless round to start with. Not bad. Not bad.
But interesting to see that, and I noticed on the mini-map, obviously, I believe once Mimi fell in market, we have the AoE there. Is that actually for the smokes?
Yeah, that's the range of the post-death smoke from Clove, the Ruse ability.
And there's actually a good example of the decay as well, medal landing.
Love to see that straight through being shown. Look at him. Any excuse gets like one kill. He's getting pumped up. Come on, Mimi. Come on. Team Spain are giving it up there. This is meant to be a friendly show match, guys. All right, let's see if we get to see some more of this then, because it looks like we are going to be heading towards that B site. Mimi and Mixwell, hands in the air. And it looks like you're seeing it perfectly displayed here. The counter to it as well, slowing down that approach on main. And look at the combination to this. It's excellent. Mimi, Fugu, both punished. Hard to break through here. Seeing that utility stacking on top of each other here, Mike.
Follow up here. Oh, Mixwell finds one. Another one comes through. Will close out the 3K. He's on his feet already for the second round. I'm not even sure if we did catch another example there of actually the medal landing, maybe an assist here with the Nano Swarm. Might even catch it on the replay. Yes, actually coming through right here, so perfect opportunity actually to talk about the decay. We were talking about this before we came in. Is it damage mitigation? Is it regardless of HP with shields?
Yeah, it doesn't ignore shields. You can think of it just as 90 simple damage. Obviously really strong when comboed into a smoke. That was kind of one of the things I was thinking about when making this kind of projectile that just explodes after a set delay. So that was kind of a perfect example of what I was hoping for. So really pleased there.
Way to go, Mixwell. You'll be invited back.
Well, they've got some set pieces here.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
They've been doing strats.
Well, they've been scrimming.
This is meant to be fun, guys. I've never seen Mixwell try this hard on the stage before. Oh, his kill count too. I'm kidding. Mixwell fans like, this is gonna be tough to break here. Yeah, that's the spike noted too. You already see them responding in kind. Yeah, this is a shutdown. Team Spain, relax.
They've got the setups.
They absolutely do.
And
they've already got such a nice idea of how to combo this utility, lock down areas of the map, make it incredibly difficult. Maybe there's a chance here for a little bit of fun though. Good attempt. Not gonna get the third. Mixwell trying his heart out. Giving the fans something to cheer for. But yeah, as said, I think there's a lot of room here to see these kind of players starting to consider the creativity with what you can achieve with this agent.
Yeah, so I guess outside of that, what are the best sort of combos? What should we be looking out for here? I know obviously on the previous round with the Nano Swarm, there's no shields involved there, so the decay did go down to 10 HP, but what are some of the synergies to look out for?
Yeah, really good with basically any damaging utility, so really good with the KO Molly in this game. Really good at also like punishing Sovas that are in drone if they're stationary in a common spot. If you have lineups for that, you can coordinate with the teammate, get some free plucks.
Yeah. Wow.
I guess as well the AoE, does it go through walls or?
No.
You couldn't, for example, crunch through from A main onto the orb.
No, it doesn't go through walls. You can think of it very similar to like a Raze explosion. It uses kind of that same back-end technology.
Okay, thanks for another opportunity. And he's actually going to lean into this one a little. Could have isolated, and look at the damage. Look at what he's been able to achieve here. Cutting off a couple of players from the others. Using this utility incredibly well, but now has a fair fight. Didn't manage to lock down the opportunity while he had that little bit of timing, so a good chance here potentially for the international side. But again, their weaponry, not ideal. Mimi.
Fugu's fighting back.
Yeah, Fugu is putting up numbers. 2v3. Black and hitbox. The angle. Oh, the timing, no! Just turns away. Fugu's popping off, though. Kaide and Fugu. Are you going to be able to find Black in time? Oh, you absolutely will. He just drifted through that smoke. And I'm still sitting going, but wait, Omen didn't smoke that. Where's that smoke just come from? Like, my brain's catching up. These smokes can be coming in once they've died.
Yep.
Oh, it's mind-blowing. It's just completely
another
changed
situation here, yeah, but I believe obviously where Mixwell falls, there's an opportunity for basically to still apply smokes to both sides there. What's the range like?
So it's a little bit smaller when you're dead, I believe by like 10 meters. So it starts at Brimstone's range and then scales down just a little bit. I just wanted to give myself a balancing lever for, future Dan if I ever had to adjust it.
Future Dan.
Yeah.
We do have the ult coming out from Mixwell as well here. It's now online, so the opportunity to kind of show off a little...
To run it down.
Well, I'm hoping.
With an operator, maybe.
I mean,
Jisoo's in the back lines here, though.
Okay. Blocking off short, which is nice. Should be able to get that spike through. Looking to see if there's anything to disrupt this. I can't quite connect with that Judge already. The Vivan gonna find Kaide. Looking at Mixwell getting closer now. See the consideration of the utility, but Mimi is there. 4v3, a tricky scenario. And already Black gonna try and close that gap, but makes a meal of it. Good trade out for Leviathan though. 3v2, Mixwell now looking for a little bit more. Leviathan having a round here. Mimi up against Mixwell, who's got this one on wraps. Mimi's got a good opportunity, but Mixwell beats it to it. And my, we are getting a little bit of a one-sided affair so far, but I mean, maybe those comms coming into effect, huh?
I mean, I was hoping to see it there, a situation where Mixwell's entering on that retake and really burning up, I guess, well, maximum effectiveness of that ultimate.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about in Dev was the pocket value of this ult, just giving you confidence to take fights. Because we'd run into these situations where people don't use their ult a lot, and we're like, is this a problem? And I'm like, I don't think I need to fix you having a good game of Valorant, you know?
Sure, sure.
So
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, actually.
I mean, yeah, there's a window there where you can run in, potentially fall first, but then still obviously have the smokes to apply after death. What's the timing like in terms of popping the ultimate and dropping smokes immediately after death? Because it's a short window to reactivate, right?
Yeah, so we simplified the paradigm so that you have to choose if you're going to ult or not before you drop smokes. We just found that in development, it quickly became like this crazy frenzied APM check if you had to do both. We didn't really want that. We wanted it to be, you know, a simple kind of set of decisions.
Yeah, clear cut. I like that. But we do have a couple of ults out to play. We didn't quite see that invested yet on Clove on either side. So that's still in a possibility here. But knives out for Fugu. I've already seen what Fugu could do with just the Sheriff was rather impressive, but still. Mixwell, this is what we waited to see. Ults in play, back on his feet. What can he do? But it's blocked in the back lines. Kaide with a critical trade. But this is now dangerous. Can he do anything with this? Oh, he's running low on opportunities here. And there it is, runs out of time. Bye-bye, Mixwell.
Yeah, he did decide to die in the middle of the map. So his smoke range, he will be able to cut off the cat rotate if they decide to go into that.
So this circle that appears on the minimap, is that Mixwell slipping into the smokes UI? Right.
Yeah, that's him activating the smoke UI.
There's method to the madness here. That turret's a real problem. And the flash as well. Hitbox gonna swing through. For the last two, Mimi and Kaide. A potential dream team here. Ult ready for Mimi and Kaide. Still got the turret as well, so got a lot to be able to try and make this a difficult retake here. What can Mimi do with this though?
Can play aggressive though.
This is the opportunity.
Available.
Yeah, she has to decide here if she wants to play time with the Clove ultimate or if she wants to get aggressive and try to make a difference really.
They're so close by. She wants the pick first, which she's gonna get. Opportunity now. Lockdown gonna come into effect as well. Mimi's fallen, there it is. Oh, gonna come in, but already there's that readjust we were looking for. Evading any of the damage. The Leviathan on the re-punish though, but it's just Kaide now. A 1v2, so difficult, and just gonna get caught here. Oh, the turret! The turret! And they're both detained! What is going on? At the time, Kaide's got a chance on this now. Kaide could clutch the hell up here. Oh, Kaide, let's go! What a round! That was so good!
But one of the situations we're talking about, right? Mimi can go and challenge this lockdown. The ultimate obviously enables Mimi to do so. I mean, just so happens that the counter lockdown, I think Mimi re-challenging here to try and push through. But Leviathan hitting shots time and time again here. Crazy exchange back and forth as well. But Kaide with the clutch.
Let's go. No, it's just, I do like the option that it is that player's choice, right? You're in a 2v3 scenario. I've now got my ult. Do I try and run this? Do I get aggressive? Do I posture up a little bit because I have that? And speaking of aggression, Mike, they're getting right back to this.
Yep, that's them fighting for that staging space like I talked about. People generally respect the decay a decent amount. It's a little scary.
Definitely, yeah.
It's terrifying, the speed. On that video we were watching as well, especially, there's a lot of elements. There's like, you're not used to it yet either.
So what are the timings there, the decay to take effect? How long does it last as well?
So the total duration of the buff is 5 seconds, but they're only maximally decayed for 2.5. Again, this is some kind of nerdy, you know, back-end math, just so I can tune it down the line if I ever need to buff or nerf it. You know, maybe.
Heard about your buffing and nerfing. I don't know, man.
Good track record.
Hey, you know.
Hey, look, it's worked well so far. All right. Let's see what we get now going forward here. Both ults burnt up, so see if they can maybe get those back online within this half comfortably. Mixwell willing to challenge. Going to be peeling away. Again, the international side, Mimi with a belting shot towards Black there. Gets to dip away, and they could potentially go back towards that A side. But a drift towards B. It looks pretty available. This is going to be hard to hold. Again, just a ghost there with Leviathan.
30 seconds left.
Just a nano swarm on the way in, though. Mimi probably looking to drop some sort of coverage here, cut sight lines. Let's see. Yeah, well, Mimi, yeah, found the kill.
Mixwell slipped side though, so a little bit of room to work here, but I don't think Mixwell's got a great deal of kit left. No, and he's taking a lot of damage here. Fugu on guarding duty as well. Spike gonna go down, trying to go for a little bit of a spam. Swings in, Fugu punishes. Beautiful work. Hitbox through middle, gonna find Fugu. So again, keeping track of this one. This is much better from the international side, finding their footing here now. What can Sergio Ferrara do? It's a laboured approach for Kaide again. Safe pair of hands for Kaide. Doing very well.
Yeah, if I may interject.
Please.
Yeah, Mimi got that first opening pick with the Q into the smoke in CT. So we saw kind of that opened up the site. Yeah.
Do you want to be a caster? I mean, a tri-cast could work, you know?
Pew, pew. One of these.
Oh, yeah, see it just here.
You're
yeah.
right. That's why Leviathan got melted. That was so good.
So damage-wise for the half shield and full shield, effectively talking about the difference between one shot with the Vandal or two shots with the rifles. So I mean that's why it makes you super squishy if you sit inside those smokes. So outside of that, you really have to respect sitting inside these smokes, challenging them, because we see that now in the meta so commonly.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we kind of got. You know, we felt good about smokes in the kind of post-death world is they're usually kind of symmetric. People can sneak into them. Sometimes there are timings where things get a little spicy. So I just wanted to give Clove a little bit of a tool to, you know, if they have the read that there's an opponent there, use the ability to punish them.
It's great to see its versatility throughout this. Already, Mimi getting relatively close to ult, 3 away. Mixwell quite some way off, smoke there towards Tree. Fugu looking to take that space potentially off the back of the owl drone as well.
Not ready yet.
Again, I feel like they found their rhythm towards the A site, starting to look more comfortable here, but a lovely pop flash and the swing. Good trade though, Fugu, and the pressure. If Mimi had been able to outdo Black, that was the site on wraps. Not the case. Black holds very well. And now we gotta look towards where the hell that spike's going. Trying to find a little info. Spots no one out by Wine, so again, knowing they're still drifting around here. Mixwell making their way over towards short too. What's he got here for us?
30 seconds left.
Finally looking to slip the smoke here.
Yeah.
Nobody looking towards.
This is nice.
This is Mimi's smoke too that they're creeping through in tree.
With the contact, that's it. Look at the lovely synergy, forcing Mixwell to respond and traded out by Fugu, but time. 10 seconds now. Fugu in a 1v2. Needs that plant. Fugu.
There's a keyboard mash going on right now.
No!
Is this keybind diff?
Oh no, the setup's not there. What's happened, Fugu? They had to go out and get the keybind set up earlier, man. What's happened? Whose keyboard's he got? Don't give us a technical timeout.
No,
I can't do it,
I
Michael.
can't do a tech pause for a show match. Surely not.
That's our final straw. That's when we walk. We'll have to bring Kevin, the producer, out to pick up. Are you ready to cast with some producers or something? Just making it solo down. I'm sorry, mate. Look at that. But luckily, it is just a show match, so no harm, no foul. We get to play on. And now I've got to check back in on those ults, because again, it changes the dynamic so much that I feel like I haven't kept track of an ult's progress in a long time. But actually, Mixwell catching up pretty well here, Mike. He's right back within touching distance of Mimi, who kind of went for a tear here. Attempting to hold the angle all down exceptionally low. That's a bit of a problem. Gonna hear the ult being popped as well. Leviathan fell there?
I think he just got double shocked.
Yeah, he must have done. So I've been watching Jonas's videos. I don't even know he's still got those up. It's all rust these days. Off we go, Mixwell. What are we up to now? What can you do with 3 HP in a dream? This is brutal. A stray bullet might put him down. No ult to depend on either. Gotta be so cautious, that decay. Puts him right down to 1.
Not helping the HP bar, but still the possibility of getting the pick-me-up here.
It's true.
If Mixwell can do some damage.
Looking to get proactive, here it is. That's what I'm waiting on.
Ultimate,
Ult there, coming in. That's beautiful work from Mimi, showing us some pure action. Stunning. Mimi flexing a little bit. Hitbox gonna give him a chance back in, 2v2. Black still low. Fugu trying to hold towards the side, gets overwhelmed. Hitbox back in, 1v1. Black already down, so low on HP. Just gotta watch that smoke. They've done it. Black falls. Game back on.
And that's the scenario we were talking about earlier. Mimi obviously running forward, playing very, very aggressive because you have that get out of jail free card.
Yeah, I just want to shout out YJJ also for that early opening double shock dart pick. And then the 3K to clutch out the round. That was big.
Ridiculous, right? No, the dynamic of this in my head is just going to shift so many of these post plants, even in, like, as said, situations that aren't sitting favorably, maybe in, as said, a 2v3, but you got a bit of space maybe, where you feel like you could utilize this ult, and you still have that, I don't want to call it a dismiss, but that ability to kind of readjust once you come back in, so you're not instantly punished. So again, there's so much versatility to this. Hitbox getting proactive though, clean shot on YJJ this time. Not allowing any of those shock darts to be unleashed. Mixwell ult ready. Obviously we noted Mimi's invested just last round. At this point, slow progress across the map, but you can see Hitbox getting curious towards middle.
No aggression coming out this round. A Sheriff in hand for Mixwell. I can see him push too far. Fugu though. He's fixed those keybinds. Leviathan's just been fragging, by the way.
Yeah, Leviathan's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. And this is who we're waiting on. Does Mixwell decide to get a little more involved here? Has that opportunity to?
Oh, he just heard the drop.
Yeah.
He knows
Should
when.
be aware. How does he decide to play this? Re-smokes and spots a player. Kaide! Backhanding, but here we go. Here's that ult coming into effect now. He's running. He's terrified of Kaide! Kaide is just a monster. Hunts down Mixwell, not once, but twice. And tees up the rest of the side.
30 seconds left.
You can see there that how short the window is to try and get it. It's not something you do have a get out of jail free card. It's a small window to be able to reposition.
Yeah, it's 2 seconds long, not very short. If you're alone, sometimes you can run into some awkward situations. I think part of the skill, the ultimate, is knowing when you're actually dead, and you probably should hold the button.
Yeah.
That is one tempting button, you know what I mean?
We've already had Chrissy on the stream. I have heard Legends Never Die, Michael, so got to bring it up. She said she'll buy me a drink for every single one. Yeah, wait a second here.
Fugu.
Fugu! He's got it. The crowd just heartbroken. They were so ready for it, getting so riled up. But no, this is... we've actually got a close game, which is wild, because like normally, whenever we do these show matches when it's a close game, they're like, guys, we've still got a finals to do. But here we go, watching this back, Kaide. Oh, look at Kaide just hunting down poor old Mixwell.
I guess as well, the next question on the back of this, what's the, I guess, window for pulling out your weapon after coming out of the ultimate? How quickly can you, is it the same with like the Euro ultimate where you have a shorty in the back pocket potentially?
I believe it is the same as your result. It might be a little bit faster. I would need to double check.
Okay.
Those values are all really tight. I think it's 0.6 on Reyna,
We're getting into the
0.8 on
geeky
yours.
stuff.
Yeah, this is why we've got Mike out here.
There'll be a low bar video in a couple of days.
No, in about 5 minutes. He's been counting. Already YJJ. Ooh, thought he might have had an opportunity on that one. Mimi's fallen. Like trying to back away, but the rest of the team's here. And look, if Kaide's still standing, there's still a chance. Kaide's been popping off here. Does have the lockdown as well. But again, just so many players up against them. 5-5.
Not ready.
Close affair between these two. Mixwell. He's probably trying to buy a couple more seconds towards A. Yep. Re-smoking. Keeping them locked out at this point.
No damage coming through here, but you see Jisoo's tagged up as well.
Yeah.
Down to 12 HP, but ultimate available. Lockdown here as well. Black, I don't know, did you catch a glimpse there?
I don't know if he caught it on the smoke fade between the reinvestment, but certainly feeling something's up.
Faking the TP as well.
Jisoo, that HP is scaring me. They are drifting away from this. 30 seconds there, leaving this late in the day.
Left.
A little nervous
Are they trying to split
Hitbox.
short?
Might
I mean,
be.
they have no other options if
Yeah,
they shift
they've
walk.
gotta go. Hitbox been sharp too. Just waiting around that corner. Does get outdone. Okay, game back on. This plays in Mixwell. This plays back in Black as well. Trying to do some stall here. Look at this late round, how impressive that is. Beautiful synergy, teeing up Black to take down two. Using that util on Mixwell so well there. Clove looking fantastic.
Yeah, really well cast Q from Mixwell there. I was gonna call out, Mimi did die towards the A side of the map, so I think that's kind of why they were strategizing around ending around the smokes. That's kind of a mind game that I expect to, evolve later. Do you go into double fakes?
Yeah, you absolutely called it.
And I guess the burning question is Clove's ability to kind of play solo controller, or is this more leaning towards a flex controller, something to maybe back up in some of the double controller compositions we see?
Yeah, I think Clove is a little bit weaker if you're playing as a solo controller on maps where you want to play really fast. I think you can pull it off if you play a little slower and wait for the smokes to recharge and you're willing to default and play picks. But I think if you're only rushing, you're going to get outdone by like Omen or Brimstone.
So maybe actually scarily enough alongside a Viper.
Yeah.
Oh. The decay and the vulnerability and everything.
Yeah, now I'm scared. I always wish we'd seen it brought out here, even a little unorthodox, just to see the potential to it. But as we see, Blanc going to be coming in.
Kaide snapping.
I mean, 10's in the final, Kaide before just warming up, you know what I mean? That's actually kind of nuts. Mixwell getting closer now, though. Put down, just down to 2 here. Leviathan has been really solid, though.
Oh, come on, preventing this. So maybe he does get a glimpse up here. Leviathan again. Kaide's down now.
Okay, still a chance here. Starting to see those late round smokes coming into effect here. Mimi trying to turn the tide a little. Done very well. Spotting out the barrel as well. Noting that final player's position. Gorgeous. Yeah. Of course, we've got a tied game.
Another question here as well. Once a null command's popped, how does that interact with Clove's, I guess, dead body or where the smokes are then allowed to be placed?
So right now, and this is definitely on the watch list, it does not interact at all. That's something I'll have to keep an eye out for. We just wanted to see the consistent power of the abilities, see how they work, but right now it is not affected by suppression.
Let's go, you guys.
So
Interesting.
Yeah, bigger question to that. It seems like you guys are very flexible with being able to see it once it's been put into players' hands, see how it plays out, and being willing to adjust off that. It's not just a final product the second it's out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we are a game as a service. That's something I always talk about at work. It's like we gotta balance the game as we see it. Oh my God, this crowd.
Yeah, wow.
Right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Again, this is for a show match. You love to see it. Audience getting warmed up here. Obviously, the final not too far away. The second this is finished, I believe it's about a 20-minute turnaround until the grand final starts. So if you're wondering, once this ends, that SEN Gen G game will be right on the horizon. But we have had such a good opportunity here to potentially see Mimi do some serious damage already. Noting this is going to be this A hit. Mixwell going to find Mimi, and that's a problem. They're winning out all the fights. Jisoo, though, going to control at least one side of it. Oh, Mixwell almost got baited into that, but still able to find what he was looking for.
We were shut down Leviathan, though, so it's a 2v2. See, obviously, Mimi did fall on this side, so smoke's still possible, but YJJ finds Sergio. Mixwell, 70 HP. Oh, we'll find it. Come soon.
Oh,
he's got the 4K. And a Red Bull clutch here. Beautiful stuff, and actually first I was going to say we hadn't seen any specific examples of the speed boost coming through, that slight buff to movement speed alongside the pick-me-up. What are the sort of timings on that as well?
Yeah, so right now it lasts 10 seconds, and you get the overhealing and the speed for that whole duration.
So we can see it here on the bar, just down on the utility bar, yeah.
Yep.
But how does that mesh?
Come off it.
Still got that player mentality. Love that.
Looking like a Heretics player all over again.
But what's the comparison, for example, versus Neon's ability to move a little quicker?
Yeah, so I kind of justified it to myself, and maybe this is a little bit of designer copium, but I kind of justified it to myself by saying like, hey, everything you get is temporary compared to like Reyna's heal. You only get the speed boost and the healing while it's active. Everything else falls off. So I really wanted you to press that gas pedal or get nothing. And so I think this is a 10 seconds is aggressive. It's a long time for a speed boost for sure, but Neon kind of has that less gated version of being able to run around the map.
Now, let's see if any opportunities present themselves here, but again, the buy not going to be ideal for the international squad. Pretty damage being done though, and Kaide's still firing off. The V-attempt going to be falling. Well, noting the player on short, and again, okay. Okay, YJJ's kind of nuts. But does the... okay, yeah, they get the bomb, though. He's absolutely... No, it's confirmed. Absolutely confirmed. Mimi and Kaide still standing up against Black Spike. Well within reach. Going to be noted. Kaide waiting. Bounces. We're tied up this game. Pretty damn close.
It's a MasterCard thrifty. I never got to say that before.
There you go.
Look, yeah, we've been
don't. Look,
we'll give you the next Red Bull clutch as well.
Yeah, you can have all
It's the rite of passage.
You're going to become a caster at this rate if you're not careful. I don't know if you want that job, really. It's all right, but,
Yeah, this job's pretty fun.
Okay, so now we got to check back in. I can't believe how close this game was. I mean, Team Spain were...
I don't know how much trouble I'm going to get in. Dude, I heard the
Wait, was Kaide teabagging?
Teabagging.
I love this. It's probably like, am I in trouble? Like, you're Kaide, you're fine. You kidding? Like, jeez. But can we get a replay of that, however, if possible? Oh, hitbox. Maybe not loving what happened to him last round, so answering back pretty quickly. Mixwell very close to the ult. How dare you steal that? How dare you? We could have had the ult online right now. Well, let's see what we have coming out here. Again, having to respect this side take. There's so much good utility put down. Forging a clean path. The ult going to be coming in as well. And there's the plant. This is looking rough round. Them to hold on to, though. The spam's in play, but didn't connect. Well, re-smoke towards Heaven. Waiting just on the other side here. Ult now ready.
Can play aggro.
He's looking like he wants to as well. Even just with that Sheriff, he fancies it. Maybe the best way to turn the odds this round is they are looking to shift towards short, maybe expecting... Oh! Belting shot! He's praying for death. They're not giving it to him. And on the backlines, Maxwell doesn't even get the chance to die. Fugu, what? Okay, time.
Mixwell has not dead yet, doesn't he?
Oh, doesn't need it! Doesn't need it! Still standing, still breathing. Evades death itself. Keeps Team Spain moving forward. One up to the good here.
But interesting there, I was curious in the 1v1 situation, you can challenge this post plant and basically have another shot at it.
Yep, yeah, you can put a lot of pressure, especially when that spike's ticking. People start to get nervous, they start to freak out, they're shaking. You just run around the corner and make them fight you again.
Yeah, you're right, yeah, pull them further away from the spike and really run the clock down, so. A shame we didn't see it, but that's potentially something to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. They get going off the back of this, Mixwell. Having plenty of opportunities here. Maybe not the nicest weapon to use it with, but you know,
I mean, seeing the Odin here, first thing that comes to mind. Oh, okay. YJJ previously good with the Sheriff, but not landed this time around. But I was just thinking towards the Odin spam, particularly on the defense side, this B main will be so hideous to play inside if that medal gets invested with the Odin.
Oh, big swing there from Hitbox, doing really well this time. Ide going down. So the Clutch Queen has been removed. Fugu, the one with the rifle, going to be eliminated. This is rough now. And yeah, well handled by Hitbox. Team Spain taking a stronger lead now. And have to see if the international side has much to bring to the plate here. Otherwise, where are we at for Mimi? Mimi's still a mile away as well. But you're right, some of those choke points, Mike, are going to be really
I mean, I'm just starting to think now in terms of, you're talking about utility synergies and where there are choke points around the map. What's the AoE of the medal versus the smoke? Is it larger than the smoke, or is it about the same size?
It's pretty similar. I think it's 8 meters, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
So slightly larger than the KO fragment?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. This is a quiz.
Yeah,
that
I know.
I'm
Mike,
failing right now.
The problem is that you've started Mike off.
Yeah.
Like normally, Mike.
I'm thinking lineups already.
I need to get the server.
You could block line of sight of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Usually when I'm at work, I just go look. You know, I just go check.
I guess it helps,
I can't do that right now. I'm standing up over here.
So we'll ask the players, like, can you just line them up for us so we can see? But again, Fugu, clean. Oh! Shot.
Down A.
Oh, nice from Fugu. Mixwell still has that ult though, so keep that in the back of your mind.
One question I was going to ask as well, with the ultimate, can you retrieve the spike?
Oh God, I'm
getting the hard hitting ones now.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
We'll harass you on Twitter.
Yeah. I can
find out.
I can check. First thing off the flight to LA.
Done. Now, this is gonna be all online. Sergio. Oh, the little peek. It's perfect. Jisoo.
Ultimate though.
Yeah.
No flashes, no TP, no decoy.
Oh, this angle. It's got the. Oh, Jisoo! What a snap! I thought Sergio had that every day of the week.
So yeah, that would be a really interesting interaction to see if, obviously, the spike will fall when Clove dies. and then the ultimate's activated, whether or not you can retrieve that, potentially get it back out of harm's way, back into a safer position to recover potentially.
Yeah, I think usually because the timer is so short at 2 seconds, you want to get somewhere and then fight.
Yeah.
If the spike is down, I think if you're trying to like jump off of Split Heaven or something and chase that thing down, you're probably already in a kind of tough spot.
9-8. Oh man, we've actually had a good game here, which is wild. Like normally, it can be a little one-sided show matches, but whoever picked these players, picked good. Oh! Oh! Again, Mixwell still with the ult, so even at a player disadvantage. Oh my god, look at YJJ just sprints away!
Can't get out.
The damage, the ability to just close down gaps. Kaide with a belter right back, but still, the ability to close down, and again, this is just spurring Mixwell on. It's almost snowballing a little bit. You can see it fully in action. Here he is back once again, spammed out, yes. Mimi puts him to the grave this time. For the second time of asking. More to be done though, having to respect that lockdown for a little longer.
Mimi gets 1 kill here, she'll have not dead yet.
Bring it back, let's go. Again, just heard the ult come out from Jisoo, I believe.
Yep, run through, find some information here.
Gotta get moving.
Yeah, time is ticking.
I saw a flash, but there we go. The Vitan gonna find Fugu. He's now down on the side. That's fantastic from Jisoo as well, but time. They should just about have that. Yeah, not a problem in the end. I was about to say not a problem, it is close. No, I think they got it. They got it. Oh my god, they don't! That looks so on!
That looks so on.
Look at the time! Mike, I went by the method of the little boop
When the boop blips.
The bloop. I thought we were in the time frame.
What's the official term for the bubble?
Mike, why are you surrounding me?
Oh my god, I'm shaking now. I think boot blips is probably as good as I've got without looking at the files.
Let's get that in turn. There.
That is crazy.
Like legit, my brain didn't. I thought they had that because of the boot bipping, you know? But
oh yeah.
Here we are. Here we are, close as you like, 10-8 now. Mimi ult is ready. Yeah, okay, but they're gonna surely just run her down here. Trying to run into the loving arms of a supporting teammate, Fugu, but it doesn't matter, overwhelmed there.
Heaven.
Yeah, wait, what?
TP invested here and committed.
Nuts.
This was a set piece coming out from Spain.
They've been running.
Hang on.
What? YJJ, where have you just done that from? What the hell's just happened?
As well.
Kaide could do some serious work here. Just getting towards the right spacing of this. I think Hitbox is... Okay, Hitbox is down towards the lower side of things, and YJJ is still looking for some more here. The Vitan on the other side, though. The timing, excellent. Just dipping around that smoke, put into play. The lockdown is there, though. Kaide, what can one player do? That's fantastic. Oh, I thought she had it again. Not this time, though.
Beautiful timing on the smoke from the grave, though, keeping really, really good situational awareness over what's happening. But Mimi, unfortunately, caught off guard here. The sort of situation, again, if there's a teammate swinging onto this, that window is short. It seems a little OP, but the window, it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure there was teamwork involved, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to strategize around this ability, that it's not just you get to do whatever you want. Yeah, sometimes you mess things up in video games. That's life.
The official dev line.
Yeah. The Q hits your teammates too, you know.
Ah, there you go. Right, as it stands though, 11-8, Spain's trying to take the lead here. That's an incredible round so far though. Already Hunter's Fury just getting posted, actually catches. Oh, YJJ's kind of nuts.
What? Nearly catching Black as well.
A free haircut off of that. Go on the corner, Fugu. Clean with it too. Ults galore here. Mimi creeping. The close-up. YJJ though. Control here, and they're starting to dwindle in numbers. Down to 3. Spike should be going down soon. Looking at Mimi. Coming around, still plenty of kit to play with as well.
Scanning ahead.
I think YJJ trying to play Mimi in here. The synergy off the charts. Love that. Again, we were worried about the comms, but looking pretty clean. Sergio trying to themselves a shot on this. I don't think that would have caught all the players, probably just 2 at this point, but still. Nice shot there towards YJJ. Mixwell looking to try and get involved again. No ult in play here, so that's Mixwell in this. Kaide creeping closer. Sergio again. Oh, it's lovely. Mimi, you got something for us here, though. A 1v1. Mixwell, Mimi. It's gonna be Mixwell here. Overhealed, knowing what he's doing. Just really starting to enjoy the agent, it looks like.
Yeah, you could tell he de-peeked, realized he still had the speed, and was like, well, I guess I'm going to go wide now, and took the fight straight to Mimi.
Planted. Last player standing.
Now we're starting to get towards the end of it. 12-8 here. Now the question is, do they close out? Does Team Spain have that?
OT?
Don't say that, Michael. We've got a final.
The crowd
waiting.
wants it.
I know, but...
What's the time limit, do you think, on this? We'll start
No,
going
because they'll
to-
start panicking. You know, I'm going to start panicking. I'm going to lose my job. It's not going to go well if that happens. But you know what? I'll take it. I'm down. I'm down to clown. If I get to see more of the agent, I get to see this matchup, the audience, hell yeah. But again, opting straight in for this A take. All players present. It's going to be down to the international squad to try and retake this one.
Doors removed well ahead of the plant here, so
Planted.
not sure if Mixwell's timing's on the smokes regenerating here. YJJ taking a ton of damage.
Smoke back towards heaven. Kaide, great impact
That's
to
huge.
trade though. They're coming back into it. They're winning out the fight here. And now down to 1. Jisoo gonna have to do some serious lifting here. Well, this one is done.
This is a 1v5 too, Mixwell with not dead yet.
Oh God, you're absolutely right. The odds stacked so heavily against them. Trying to swing in, trying to find a fair fight, and none of it. No! Not the knife! Oh, he's done it with a knife! What a way to round it out. Team Spain, home ground, picking up the show match victory.
A fitting end. And actually a taster for the crowd today, Long, as well.
You love to see it. Mixwell looking comfy there, up on 24 kills on the brand new agent. Great to see the crowd having their home team to cheer for. But the other side, gotta say it as well, Kaide putting up numbers today, looking solid. Mimi showing off a little bit herself as well, but YJJ was a firecracker during this series.
Yeah, it was a real Sova and Sheriff spotlight out there on some of those rounds. Really, really nasty. Awesome double shock entry. You don't get to see that often.
No, you absolutely don't. So again, a real pleasure to get to watch this, to get to see Clove in action as well, seeing some of that capability and possibility. And this is after, I mean, I think these players have had
some hands-on time.
Yeah, a little bit, but not much. You can only imagine what pro teams, pro players are going to be able to achieve once they get the ability to really play this agent, get their hands on, and get, you know, considering, I said, Mike was starting to nerd out towards the end. They go, well, what about this then? Wait, no, I need you to tell me about this specific thing. And I can imagine the players at home will be doing the same thing here, but
I think we're quite lucky though. We have most of the kind of, I guess, the surface level scenarios or circumstances in this game, but yeah, definitely going to be very interesting to see how Clove fits into the meta. You know, what are the synergies alongside some other utility? Because it's actually the trajectory of the sorry, can't remember now. The medal, sorry, apologies. The trajectory of that, it's very easy to set up fast utility combos, kind of off spawn barrier dropping.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was putting in work. Honestly, Metal was looking really good.
You happy?
Yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah, they had some sick trap plays, really well coordinated. Honestly, I felt like that Mixwell smoke for the Sova drone also just really well timed. Made that Killjoy push on the timing super awkward. So I think that just kind of shows what those kind of comms can help you do in those clutch situations.
I was about to say, it must be somewhat nerve-wracking to see these players pick up something that you've had internal, that you've been working on, and then seeing them get their first real chance in front of the audience, bringing it out to the wider world to see what Clove is capable of. That's got to be a little bit nerve-wracking. So,
yeah,
you know, you're happy enough with the result though, right?
I'm extremely happy about it. Honestly, it went far beyond my expectations. I think no game designer out there will ever be like, oh, players learn things way slower than I expected. It's like, especially in a game like this, you know, our players are so good, they're so dedicated, they put the time in. So I really felt like the character shined really well today.
No, I'm incredibly happy we got to see
Excited to see more.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I just want to see what happens, because like, again, when we see characters added to games like this, you're always curious to see how it's received. Is it viable to, especially competitive play, because there's such a different cutoff to that aspect, and I think there is a real viability here. I'd be very surprised to not see it.
Yeah, I mean, even just here, theory crafting, there are so many possibilities alongside a double controller, composition, obviously, alongside other initiator utility, but also, I mean, the fact that you can just play super aggressive as a controller and still have the ability to contribute.
Yeah, this has been an exceptionally fun day. Thank you so much for joining us here. We are going to hand it down to the interview with Kukuka and Mixwell.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos después de este maravilloso showmatch? Vamos a coger unas primeras impresiones de lo que ha sido este agente. We're here to grab some first impressions by the first people who get to play it here on the stage. I'm with Mimi and Mixwell. First, Mixwell, congratulations on the win. It's lovely to see you back on the stage. Why don't you start giving us some first impressions on what the agent can do, what you think is very strong?
Okay, I'm gonna speak in Spanish, so Mimi can speak in English. Mis primeras impresiones de Clove es un personaje muy diferente a lo que hay. Es un personaje muchísimo más agresivo, que puede entrar con el duelista y morir para poder seguir tirando smokes en el afterplant y ser muchísimo más proactivo. Así que es un personaje que yo creo que muchos duelistas que no quieren jugar smokes van a acabar jugando.
Parece que es un guiño a alguien específico aquí en el torneo. He was saying that it's a very aggressive smoker. For all of those players that do want to be in the duelist but have to play a smoker, this would be a perfect addition because of the wrestling ability. Now you, Mimi, do you think that there's going to be a place in competitive for this agent, first of all?
First of all, I'm gonna put my controller, Vanya, on this, this agent because I love it. I love it so much. It's gonna be so much.
Okay, then follow up with that one. What other agents do you think you could combo it with?
Amazing question, first of all. I'm not sure, honestly. Anything that has a like a Raisinade or a like KO Molly or something that can combine with the exactly with the DK.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Le estaba preguntando si creía que es una gente que se va a utilizar en el competitivo. Ella dice que Vania, una de las jugadoras de su equipo, en cuanto llegue a casa le va a poner a practicar y que hay que combarla con alguna gente que tenga daño en la utilidad, como una granada de race o todo este tipo de habilidades. Okay, last question is going to be for you, Mixwell, and it's not actually a question. I'm just going to give you some time so you can address the stage here in Madrid. Te voy a dejar que digas lo que quieras aquí al stage de Madrid en este pedazo de evento que estamos teniendo, sobre todo para crear un poco de hype en la final que se viene ahora.
Hola a todos, chicos, ¿cómo estamos? Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias a todos por lo que habéis hecho por mí. Sin vosotros yo no estaría aquí jugando hoy, así que os agradezco de corazón todo lo que hacéis por mí. Sois los mejores. Y ¿estáis listos para la final o no? ¡Más fuerte! ¡Más fuerte! Así me gusta. Nos vemos ahora.
Muchísimas gracias a todos. Un corto receso y ahora mismo volvemos.
hotly anticipated matches. The Pacific squad shut down the America's #1 seed, sending them back to the lower bracket. And now we find ourselves here at the Grand Finals for the runback of all runbacks. How will the story end? Let's just go ahead and find out. I'm Golden Boy, you got me, you got High Pocket. This is gonna be awesome. Look at this place. It's
Dude,
to the brim, bro.
Crowd during the show match was absolutely bonkers. What a warm-up for them for the grand final.
And the game hasn't even started
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
And they're already this loud. It's already this full.
Yeah, it's unbelievable stuff. But regardless of what happens on this stage here today, history has already been made thanks to the players on Gen G. History-making performances bring them to a grand final. And not just a grand final, Hypoc. They're up from the winner's side. So they have control of how this competition is going to unfold.
Yeah, and I guess the team that there were a couple of question marks about them coming into this event with, well, a little bit of a strange journey here to defeat Paper X in the fashion they did. Was it an off day for Paper X? You know, what is the real Gen G? But they've just come from strength to strength here in Madrid.
They've won 9 matches in a row between this tournament and their own kickoff. And if they win today, if they could lift that trophy, they would be the first ever Asian Valorant team to do so. It's history in the making.
When you think about the history and what we've seen from Korean Valorant all the way up until this time, Hypoc,
We've been waiting.
Is this it, bro? Is this it?
I didn't think it would ever be anybody else other than DRX, I guess, after the last couple of years, but I'm so glad it's Gen G on basically the brink of achieving this, because they have been such an exciting team to watch, some fantastic individuals and personalities as well, maybe.
And the thing is, last time we had a Korean team this deep, it was new turn. They went out in the upper finals all the way back in the first ever international tournament for Valorant here. I mean, it's wild that it's taken this long for a Korean squad to come back, but it has some of those same pieces. Lakia, after barely attending international events, after kind of falling off the radar, going down to tier 2, has come back to another international and is now in the finals. And Solo, who was on that new turn squad, is now the coach leading this Gen G team to the run that they've achieved.
Yeah, what a journey it has been. But for more on Gen G, let's go ahead and send it over to Yinsu, who managed to get some words with Munchkin.
Hello, Munchkin. Welcome to your first grand final. Of course, you're the first Korean team to make a grand final here at a global event. What is the plan for today, and how do you make sure you bring a trophy home for your region?
Nothing. We just play our own game.
Well, it's worked so far. Thank you very much.
Well, it's their game that brought them this far, and it doesn't shock me that Munchkin's coming into this one with a ton of confidence. But here's the thing. Yes, there's history on that side of the field, but let's actually head over to the other side of the stage, because it has taken TENS almost 3 years to get back to this spot in a global final. And Mike, this could be a massive achievement for a guy who started off his career in Valorant white hot.
Yeah, I mean, as the chosen one, we keep talking about being the chosen one, but this is a player there was so much hype about, so many questions about when, you know, there was a little bit of a drop-off and a few iterations of this Sentinels roster. But so far, so good. Looking absolutely, well, godlike, to be honest with you. Back to the original form that we know and love from TENS.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not playing the same roles. He's not doing the same things. Back then, he could lock Jet, dominate every map, and win every single game. They didn't drop a map on that run. But this time around, TENS making it to a final, it has been the hard road. It has been every third map. It has been every lower bracket game. And it's been him playing on new roles, becoming so much more of a team player than he was 3 years ago.
Yeah, we have definitely seen the evolution of TENS throughout his career as a Valorant professional. Actually, here's what TENS had to say about the squad during yesterday's post-match interview. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I think this is the best iteration that Sentinels has had for a roster. Just, we work together, we get along, we're great friends, and I think we trust each other, and that's what matters the most.
Best iteration of the roster, but I think we all can agree that most definitely is the case here, Mimi. I mean, it does feel like this Sentinels team, like, just rose back up like a phoenix from the ashes practically, because it felt like they were pretty much, you know, dead men walking at one point in time, and now here they are in a grand final.
Yeah, it's been 2 years of struggle, 3 years even of struggle for this organization to make it back to this point as an international competitor. But they've taken the time. They've invested in rookie players along with the veterans. They've brought on a coach who has instilled such fantastic fundamentals and has really built a team that is incredibly cohesive. And Sentinels have never really had that to this extent before.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so impressive, this run that we're seeing from them. But of course, Tens and Saucy have already held global trophies above their head, but the other 8 players on that stage today have not. And in fact, two of them are here for the first time ever. They literally showed up, and then now they're in a final. It's Karen and it's John QT, which is so incredible because John QT doing this as an IGL has been utterly impressive, but then Karen genuinely is a god.
Yeah, he actually is, well, a ranked god, to be honest, pulled straight from the depths of the Radiant ladder. But yeah, he's looked absolutely phenomenal individually, but also just in terms of, I guess, his macro kind of input as a controller for Gen G has been absolutely pivotal to their success.
And on the other side for John QT, this is a guy who has been grinding at it since the beginning. He's played in EMEA, he moved over to North America, he grinded in Tier 2, even meeting Kaplan back then. Then Kaplan gets this chance with Sentinels. He gets his opportunity on Tier 1, and for a young IGL, he goes absolutely nuclear. His first ever international event, and he's led his team to the finals.
And it's not even the performance of the calling, it's also his gameplay.
He's so clutch. I still think that clutch on Split, one of the coldest we've had here at Madrid.
And it's the same for Karon. Both these guys, they're young, they're new to this pressure, and they're both stepping up, winning clutches, popping multi-kill after multi-kill. It is ridiculous what these rookies have achieved.
Yeah, it has been mind-blowing without a doubt, but another player who has actually been shattering our brains is Zekin, and he's actually standing by with Yinsu to get some words as we get ready for this matchup.
Hello, Zekin. Welcome to the Grand Finals. You've had such a great tournament so far. Tell me, what's been the secret and the reason behind your individual success and performance?
I could lie and say that it's hard work and dedication, but the truth is it's all through the SEN bundle. It really gives me the ability and the power to play well, so please go and buy the Sentinels bundle.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Capitalism is what powers that young man there.
Maybe a little bit of hard work and dedication. Maybe just a teensy bit.
I guess Zekin's just had the commission changed in his contract as well as matching Zelsis. Yeah.
My guy's making plays out there. Make sure he can paid. In any case, though, folks, there's so much to discuss regarding this game. We genuinely can be up here the entire time. But for now, though, I want to turn the question over to the community. Earlier on, we asked you wonderful people about our MasterCard fan poll. Who do you think is walking away a Masters champion here in Madrid? And it is Sentinels, but you know what? I'll take the 38.1
I'll take
for
38.
Gen G.
I thought it was going to be worse than that, to be honest with you.
I really did.
Yeah, Sentinels are the fan favorite today, but you have to give this Gen G squad so much credit. I feel like they've silently made a run here at Madrid, beating team after team. No one was super excited about them until suddenly, they're in the upper finals. Oh, they're in the grand finals. This team just plays fantastic, fundamental Valorant at a very high level. All of their individuals are in white-hot form. It's time to stop doubting these guys. They're on the precipice of maybe lifting a trophy today.
Yeah, and I think talking about it being, quietly along like the sidelines to the headline, which is Sentinels returning here, looking in great form. They have just played some really clean Valorant. It's bread and butter. There's not an awful lot of flair to it, but they've just looked fundamentally solid.
But the thing is, for Sentinels, right, if they were gonna lift a trophy, it would be the hard way. They played every match possible in Americas. They went down to the lower bracket. They played through play-ins. They had a long offseason. This is a team who has really dedicated themselves to the grind. Since the beginning of 2024, they have played every match possible, and it's the reason they're so good.
You know, I have to say, though, something that has been very impressive on the other side of this stage has been Gen G's, well, overall attitude about this event, just their performance as a whole. It genuinely feels like this team, something that we have noticed before, like when DRX would play, or even PaperX, you felt that pressure. For some reason, these guys are cool as a cucumber.
They look like naturals up there.
Yeah, like they belong there.
Yeah, like it's not a big shock to be on the international stage and facing off against teams like Sentinels, PaperX, Loud, for example, some international veterans.
And I love how proactive they are at getting up, at talking their talk, at just feeling the game.
Absolutely.
Once they get in control, once they start getting dominant, I feel like it's so hard to stop them, because just like once players are yelling, once that vibe is up, like who's going to turn that off?
Well,
they seem unstoppable.
Well, actually, I'm really glad you bring that up because then my eyes kind of turn to the guy who's won a world champion on that stage.
Sure.
It's Sasi. And even though his tournament has been a little up and down, a little topsy-turvy, if you will, Mike, I do feel like at this point in time, you got to lean on guys like Sasi, guys like Zelsis to keep the attitude going.
Absolutely. You dial into that experience, but also Sasi has been heating up. Last few series, been way more impressed with his individual performance, but also his contribution to some of the executions around his utility, which have been, I'll be honest, the burning questions. Not necessarily the numbers he's putting up, it's the value that he's bringing to Sentinels.
Yeah, also, when he's in the server, even if he's not putting up numbers, he's putting up great supportive utility. One of the reasons why Zekken looks like the best in the world right now is the Gecko or Sky player who's Sasi behind him. But on top of that, it's the emotional leadership, too. He brings that world championship attitude to this squad. He lets them know, we can do this, we can win this trophy, and it's the same for Zelsis as well. They have guys who will keep them in it today.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but your boy's sweating up here because it's hot. I love it. I'm all about it. I want to know, though, real quick, who we got taking the dub here?
I'm going to predict Sentinels. With a double map ban for Genji, it's going to be really tough. Ooh. But if it's the hard road, I can't doubt them.
Okay, Sentinels is what Mimi says. Hi, Pak, what about you?
Genji walking their way to a trophy today.
Ooh.
I'm telling you. And do you know what? We had this conversation before this event started. I was like, I'm not buying it, GB.
Dude,
I'm not buying it. And you're like, just watch.
Yeah.
I'm all in now.
I was confident when I saw it, man. And I won't lie, this is a tough one. I'm curious to see where we end up for the maps, but genuinely, I could see Genji taking this and hoisting a trophy for Korea and for Pacific.
They absolutely could. It would be history for them walking on here with rookies, with a roster that had no expectations to make it now to a grand final, to have a chance to beat Sentinels and lift a trophy. It would be an incredible moment for their league, for their country, and for all 5 members on that stage.
Oh boy, I hope you guys feel it. The electricity in this room is palpable. Everyone, I mean, basically the seats are packed. This is going to be a banger, and the wait is over. Today, someone's walking away with the trophy. It's Genji versus Sentinels, a best of 5. The Masters Madrid Grand Final starts right now.
He's going to hear this. Did he spot him? Did he see him? 2 already in the round. A 3rd would be needed. Mind Freak's not stopping. He's got to check. And he does! Sentinels are going to the Grand Finals!
It's good to see them back as well.
It's been a while.
Looking back at my career as a whole, things don't always go your way. It's not always a perfect road.
Hopes and dreams of building a dynasty this year left in tatters. The Sentinels are sent home.
They only win a single map in the entire stage. Super disappointing.
That's been the story of their year, really, hasn't it?
Sentinels are out of LCQ.
But I am thankful for the opportunities I've been given. Just the path that has allowed me to be the person, the player I am today.
Sentinels are going to be your kickoff champions.
Tens. It has been 3 years.
Sentinels take down Newton on map 2 on Haven to take the series to move forward to the grand finals. Newton surely got rocked here by Sentinels.
일단 건강 문제로 되게 힘들었었고요. 힘들었고 포기하고 싶었던 순간은 당연히 엄청나게 많았지만 네, 결국에 끝까지 제가 프로를 시작했었던 첫 이유가 이제 엄청나게 큰 무대에서 우승이었기 때문에
History for Korean Valorant as Genji 13-3 Sentinels. They booked their spot in the grand final.
Estamos aquí en directo en Masters Madrid. Los fans acuden del mundo entero para apoyar.
For my premier team, I'm the IGL.
Are you planning to make it a pro? Is that
Yeah, that's the plan.
I actually came here from the United States to come see Masters. First Korean team in the grand finals.
진짜 너무 팬이에요. 공부하러 왔다가 원래 한국으로 3월에 가려고 했는데 급하게 꺾어가지고 경기 전부 예매했습니다. 이거 원치킨 선수 신발
와, 신발을
이거는 나는 라키아 선수 옷이랑 저 선수 옷백이 안 가져오셨다가지고.
오! 진짜 개꿀. 감사합니다.
일단 저희가 팀 창단 첫 초기에 되게 저희들끼리 친목을 중요시했어요.
특징을 잘 살린다.
저희가 운이나 그런 게 아닌 진짜 피땀 나는 노력과 그리고 마음속에 쌓여져 있던 응어리들이 를 전부 다 해소하면서 여기까지 오게 된 걸 알아주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
I always kind of dreamed about having Kaide at an event, being able to watch me win it. Just the fact that she's present here now, it means a lot to me. This match is redemption for us.
I've been a fan of 10 since 2021 when I watched them in Reykjavik. Trio Sentinels, I'm calling it.
Go Sentinels, Sun City.
Go Sentinels!
Genji, they're changed their setups to be specifically against what Sentinels does to entry. So meticulous.
젠지 화이팅 대왕제.
아직 자랑스러울 순 없다 생각하고요. 트로피를 거머쥔다면은 어찌됐든 자랑스러울 것 같습니다.
It's not always a perfect road. I'm just really thankful. May the best team win.
Hello everyone, hola a todos Madrid. Es un placer estar aquí con todos vosotros. Aquí a Madrid llegaron los 8 mejores equipos, los más en forma, representando a 4 regiones. Y ahora es el gran momento. Es el momento que todo el mundo esperaba. Y la pregunta, ¿estáis listos? Bienvenidos a la gran final del Masters Madrid. ¡Campeón de América Sentinels! John Cupid!
estar solo.
It's been a difficult road for both of these teams, from failing to make an impact at the start of the VCT era to now being in the main event. Only one will hold a trophy over their head, and it's now time to determine who walks away as the inaugural champion of the season. Is it the America's #1 or the Pacific #1? We're ready for war.
It's been over 1,000 days since Sentinels and Tens hit a grand final stage at an international event. After grinding it out, finding opportunities for year after year, they've made it back. But they're up against GENG, a team that has already made history. The first Korean team to make it to a grand finals and a chance to win the first trophy for their region.
And here is your Omen map selected. We're going to see what we're playing in here, and a smart decision for GENG. They have both of the bans. They decided to get rid of Lotus as well as Sunset. Good maps for the Sentinels.
As to start things out on Breeze as well, maybe looking for a little confidence booster if it's even required to start this series off.
It was 13-3 that GENG won that map last time. Their double controller, Jet, Yorucomp ripped Sentinels apart.
This is going to be an epic battle between two teams that not only have crossed paths before, obviously, but for both of these squads, they're really trying to see where are the margins of victory, because neither team, I'm suspecting, is going to be giving anything up. And I'm really looking at that Breeze to be the tone setter of this game, just like what Sentinels did to Paper X yesterday on Lotus.
I think the tone setter, but then you've got to look towards Split. The question marks that have arisen recently around Sentinels, actually, this doesn't even feel front-loaded for GENG now. Can they ride on that previous victory once again?
Kaplan did say that Sentinels were ready for anything, that give them Breeze, give them Icebox, they just want to play. They're trying to focus more on their own game today, and that's the same focus that GENG said thereafter. Still, it's going to be brutal. Back-to-back BO5s, game after game for the Sentinels, while GENG has had time to study their opponent and prepare for this rematch.
But one has to wonder, though, that lower bracket run, right, gives you the confidence, especially taking out a Paper X team that I think were just shooting out of their minds in this tournament, especially toward the later end. One has to wonder if that kind of warm-up, if that initial battle could actually pay off for them here in the grand final.
I mean, scorelines aside, it's an exhausting series to play against a team like Paper X, but whether or not that now, you know, kind of puts them in a position to be ready for what GENG is going to pull out here in the grand final.
You really have to focus on how incredible it is that Sentinels even made it here right through that BO5. This is John QT's first international event as an IGL at this level. He played Ascension before, fell flat there, but now he's managed to keep up the calls for so many matches on end. Is it enough today, though? That's the question. We're into the agent select, and there's no surprises. Both teams return to their same comps, but I imagine Sentinels gonna have a new game plan today, Mike.
I mean, the other thing being there's some tape now for this GENG composition. There's an opportunity to go back and study where things went wrong, where there's some possibilities or opportunities to really make some impact on the side of Sentinels.
So we know that the Pacific teams really do like this Breeze. They like to play aggressive. They like to catch you off guard. Very loosey-goosey.
I think the strong suit for GENG in their last match was how disruptive they were in their post-plants, fighting forward, not letting Sentinels play the set structured retakes that they love to play. Sentinels, honestly, I feel like have a chance to kind of get dragged down into the chaos here by GENG with this comp. It's going to be tough for them to take home Breeze, though.
Well, this is it. It's now time for the Madrid Grand Final. And let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. It's your boys, Bren and Sideshow.
Thank you very much. Let's get this one started in the Madrid arena. What a stage that's been set up, man. The scintillating Sen City trying to pave that road for a bit of redemption, but they got the pride of Pacific on the other side and a hell of an advantage waiting for them. That double map ban looks brutal to try and get through.
And it starts off here on Breeze. A rematch of our upper bracket finals, and this was the decider. Instead of to close, it's now to open. Side swap though. So what can Sen learn? They barely played any defense the last times that these two teams clashed, but there is footage out there. And another thing to note, Bren, GENG won all 6 pistols last time they played. That's an almost insurmountable advantage.
Something that's got to be turned around if you are Sentinels. Heading into these series, they've mentioned that they're putting a lot of focus on themselves, not too much on the counter-stratting. I think that might be wise as well. Breeze is going to be a map that really comes down to a bit of form factor. Can you hit your shots? Can you try and take down the big dogs that is Gen G? Because they got some heavy hitters. Munchkin now setting up for the wall. Looks like a bit of an A split.
Going straight into John QD's setup.
John QT just crouched behind this one. Still Flash. Molly coming through. Trip as well. And the counter play in order. There it is. Deleted him. Trip kill. Never seen that one before, at least on the big stage. Here it is, though. It's slowed down Gen G to a crawl. Lakia in through the back of the site, though, and there's the response, the return of firepower. Zelsis left to pick up those pieces, but already a site has been gained and granted. Shock Dart kills 2 versus 2.
And now, as Gen G have to return to grab this spike, Zeken's gone to make the play, wrapping all the way around. He's got a Sheriff favored for long-range fights. And that shock not quite as successful as the prior. Sassy's been locked out and has given away his position, and Caron, new to the big stage, so aware, but he's missed the timing.
Just barely. From ranked to rookie to tier 1 stage to the chance to lift the trophy, Caron looking like he might take that first contact dart. Supportive util, Sassy finding it difficult to really get himself into the position. Second, walking wide, now the dart finally ready, clearing it. At least onto one position here, but time's starting to work and tick against them. A face from all of them. On top now, Sassy versus Lakia. And they're all players against one another. It's Lakia who cleans it up for the pistol.
And another one of those pistol rounds going the way of Gen G. The individual skill on this team is so high. Even after you see this ridiculous opener for John Cutie. Clearly anticipating an A-split from coming through, Sentinels simply couldn't capitalize on it. Lakia, one of those players with a lot of focus on him, was there to open up global events in Valorant. And is here now at our most recent, looking in incredible form.
Looking like he wants to have that second shot of revenge. I mean, he's already got it the first time in the upper bracket. Now a chance to really knock them down and deep. Now there's a flash play here with a util. Kills happening on multiple sections here with Mita falling down.
Push down holes.
Yeah.
Push down holes.
Trying to squeeze them now with the drone close quarters. Combat might be in order, but again, there's that long sight line and team's finally coming through with the right clicks. Finally, left clicks getting it done. Shock Dust pulled out, maybe a bit frantic in terms of that approach. Sassy getting ahead of himself. Zelsis doesn't choose to peek his cranium out wide. Still going to be playing his life now.
It feels a little bit like a comm was missed there because the spike was dropped, and yet Tenz is going for a repush elbow, almost anticipating that Gen G would pick the timing to rotate, but they had to recover that spike and had to be cautious doing so. And read his play perfectly though. Guardian in hand, and the rest of Gen G are coming towards him.
Must be something here. He's going to be hearing it. Getting the rumble of the footsteps. Just before everyone's got to set up for it. And they run him down. Up now, 3 players. Munchkin taking that forward angle. What could have been a possibility now is just looking just more unlikely.
Zelsis with the outlaw. Everybody dies in a single shot, but it's a 1v3.
He's already been spotted out. Beautiful work from the IGL. So 3 players surviving. Making it nice and clean here for Gen G off the back of that pistol round. A map that, again, have to iterate here that they are favored in this situation. They've already played SEN on this map here. They absolutely trounced them.
Yeah, it was a dismantling. One that had Dappling claiming full responsibility for the choice to end up here. Had no choice whatsoever when it came to the grand finals, with Gen G having that double map back. Heading into the bonus round. Meteor not too far away from being able to get close to his Yoru ult, which is super effective to be able to get into these sites. Even the information alone, little jump up, Zeken.
Yeah, he's pushed up deep here. Not too much to support him, not too much to trade him, but he sees it, hears it, and there's the kill. Collected onto Munchkin, but it's offset. Immediately onto the other side of the map. No fast pace increase here from Gen G. Happy to just play for that pick, play for the orb, and now slow it down once more.
And not prioritizing the orb on Meteor, as I suspected they might, to try to get the dimensional drift online. Instead, just going for texture. And SEN have been picking these kind of timings in the first 2 rounds to go for little explorations to see if they can get some more info. Instead, though, Zeken and Zelsis doubling up over towards A, anticipating that this would be a re-hit. just confident that John could hold down the other side.
Just that, though, massive map control that's been lost here for Sentinels. You can feel it just positioning Assassi. He's having to watch Halls in case that lurk comes through with 40 seconds left. For GenG now, fully grouped up. Starting to hit into this side, but John QT is going to be sitting side by with his rifle. Might have to try and put a stop to this one, but it's difficult. Well, the adversaries are trying to overcome here. Still not showing his hand. Dart, potential there to set that one up, but finally a few shots fired, and Rattle Texture's been creeping and crawling up onto the angle. Finally there, and releases it. The trigger straight to the dome there. Sassy dropping into the back of the site. 2 left standing here for Sentinels. Disadvantaged position. Gotta watch that one though. ADS second. And that's 8 seconds left. A round-winning play perhaps, but now a safe plan position for Meteor, tucked right behind the pillar. We'll be able to get the extension into the round, but can he survive the 1v2? Already through, and second! Nasty work there.
Zekken got shut down completely in the upper bracket final when these two teams played against each other. But you can't keep Zekken down for long. What we saw him do to PaperX, he tore them to pieces. 3 out of 4 of the maps, he was clearly the best player in the server. Dominating not just on Raze, as he has been doing all year, but also finding his form and his footing on Jet, especially with rifle in hand. The timing on the Cloudburst dropping, just giving him the perfect moment to deny the plant. And grabbing 2 on the back of it as well. Enormous play, and also demonstrating once more, Bren, that SEN are looking to play this defense aggressively. Not at the beginning of the round, not trying to force the fight, but looking for those mid-round timings to soak up a flank or a bit more info. And Zekken is going to be crucial to that.
It's a good adjustment as well, something to just upset those timings. But GenG, they play pretty close together.
Look at this. Drone into elbow really makes it feel like Zekken could be pushing behind this. So everybody on GenG scared. Instead, the double push coming down halls. Great distraction play from Sassy.
Meteor, though, potentially getting some of that information over towards the one side with a nice Blade Storm. Running them through, and the IGL dropped. But now a scurry and scatter. Everybody running over towards that A site, seeing if they can at least reinforce Meteor's position. He's going to be tucked close.
Can they get a double face going with Zekken updrafting? Instead, just choosing to face it.
TP with a gate crash, not going to be baited out from that one still. Lackey is also getting a move on through Halls. Could be that late lurk play in that position. Meteor going to be cleaned up there with the trade still. A tap. No one forced out wide. Lackey, though, gaining that kill and closing the door in front of him. Neural theft, giving the info. Texture. Now the emphasis placed on him. A dash to the side here, but a pull on line, not half, onto the spike. Could be a big difference maker. Could be a massive one, in fact. GenG have got them surrounded on almost every single front right now, picking them apart. The threads unraveling. Leave it to just John QT, but again, the time ticking away. And it's just far too late for it. GenG themselves up nice and easy onto that third.
John not even able to secure the rifle, which could have made a huge difference for Sentinel's economy. If he had been able to keep it, perhaps they would have still been able to buy into the next. I love the play at the beginning of the round from SEN. I think it's really smart. Fake like Zekken's pushing in one direction, get the pick over towards Halls. But they also just allowed Meteor to run in with his ult and get the plant down. And he essentially did that just all on his own.
Yeah.
And once you're in an afterplant situation and GenG are walking all over the space, it's much more difficult to clean up. And SEN's retake protocols do not look as good here as on some of their other maps.
Definitely tell it's a map that's just been, less honed over time. From Sentinels, just missing a jump there. I mean, a deep dart, I believe, broken early, so Zekken didn't want to take the peak timing. So they're just holding down towards elbow. For GenG again, happy to play this one nice and slowly.
I believe Texture's positioning, he would have heard John QD use the aggressive cam over towards B. That info may well get relayed to the rest of the team. Yeah, you can see it being pinged out here, actually, on the mini-map. And so they're expecting the stack to be over towards mid and A.
Incredibly deep positioning here. Hunter's Fury going to be offloaded from this particular position. That's Lakia returning it, so he can get a kill, but only the one tag, spotting out the positioning of Zelsis. Interesting usage of the ult, but with 50 seconds left now, starting to make their way and meander over towards that B side. Cosmic Divide will cut this one up nicely.
Paul aimed for where John QD has been anchoring in previous rounds. And this composition has so many different ways of getting into B. The Jet and the Yoru, very difficult to deny, especially when you have so many smokes online. That pit did not cover the spike.
Oh, and a lot of respect as well being showcased as well to a weaker buy of Sentinels, but Zekken See what damage he can do here. Still with the rifle in his hand. They found the first one, but again, a lot to get through. It's murky territory, a blight onto the B site with that pit, but they really wrangled control of this one. They found Charon, but again, Munchkin is the player that needs to fall to really stand a chance into this one. Yes, it doesn't cover it. Texture alive and kicking, working his way around, but he's being found. Sassy drops him. And one player left to stand as Lakia crouched, cowering, fear in his heart. He cannot face them. A thrifty win for Sentinels.
That is a bizarre one to start us off with. With a pit being invested as well, you think GENG have just got that wrapped up. It's a gorgeous flash recon play that catches Meteor, but then there's just a lot of timing plays all around the spot.
Oh, boy.
All of these GENG players dying whilst looking the other way. Not being able to use the eco advantage that they had, and actually the pit there ended up hurting them. Not something that's that replicable, but certainly one that SEN can take to the bank.
They will be moving forwards now. Plenty of money left waiting, and a lot of equipment comes with it. Full weaponry. Zekken, so damn aggressive. Now, seems to have an inkling that maybe Charon's there, possibly from a cam aggressively getting broken.
Yeah, for sure. John Cudy's cam got broken in that spot. Now he knows where Charon basically is. The rest of GENG working their way up mid. One of the things that SEN said in their press conference was it was difficult playing against GENG, hard to isolate your ones when they travel around in such a pack. But GENG are running a 1-3-1 default here. Smoking it up, looking to take a little bit of mid. But TenZ has gone walking all the way down halls here, getting good info for his team.
That's fantastic info. He's going to be hearing the scurry of the footsteps from Munchkin, maybe even seeking to punish, but he's going to be calling this now for his team. Look at this.
Sassy starts to go.
Yeah, good maneuvers all around the map. Can really follow those sound cues and follow them well straight towards the B side, but it's going to be setting up for that B split. Out through tunnel.
TenZ has got to be careful here not to overflank. He just needs to play to contain. He grabs one,
No
grabs
way!
two.
And the heads will roll before that space gains. And guess what? GENG just sent rattling now all the way, man! The movement looking clean with it. Texture's got something to say still. Only one blade left. Rest of them finding it into the back wall, but there's the refresh and shut down. Traded time. Really, really quite low. Only 11 seconds left. It's going to be barely able to get onto the side, but Charon has to clear a little bit. He might just have some time spare, barely a second. And yes, we'll be able to get it here, but Sentinels surely don't let this one slip. A 1v3.
Charon, though, is going to be able to reposition slightly, and TenZ is weak.
Really weak. He's got so wide. Zelsis needs to be ready. Charon! The movement impeccable, the aim on top. And he's brought it to a 1v1. Yes, damage has been done, but this guy, from rank to superstardom all the way on the grand stage, he does not seem phased at all. Zekken to face him now. Again, slow walking onto the angle. The noise and information just being cut away entirely. It could just come down to chance. Cloudburst and straight up into the air. Zekken diffusing. Drops down. Fight taken at one. Charon, a menace to him. The scourge of Sentinels rips away the chances of that round.
That's an absolutely monstrous, heartbreaking 1v3. And the aim and the precision is preternatural. It's just, you do not see that. With a Phantom at long range, on Breeze, ripping off heads. Yes, the timing on the trade is not perfect. It's not a double swing from SEN, but they don't expect the guy to be holding that and winning that.
Charon is just that guy. I mean, he just seems unshaken throughout this entire tournament, throughout all of kickoff. Doesn't matter the obstacles that you've thrown at the guy. The entire team as well have just been persevering. Sassy is gonna have a hell of a lot to deal with here. Drone gets all the info he's looking for, possibly seeing multiple targets. Now the Hunter's Fury of his own. That is gonna be let rip, and look at the targets! They just cleave right through them.
What a perfect counter to what GENG were going for. Immaculate stuff from SEN. And still throughout all of this, they're looking to go aggressive in other places. TenZ has gotten deep. He's going to be able to hear rotations. I think that's such a pivotal part of SEN playing in this finals. GENG love to rotate around the map on their attack side and their defense side, getting people into good positions like that for info. Impeccable.
Seems like a clear game plan, just disrespecting them.
But also Sassy, really, the playmaker there.
Of course.
I thought he was going to get overwhelmed. You saw him get the tag onto Meteor, and I thought that SEN were going to get baited into the fact that there was only one there. Clearly, a better read than it appeared. The Hunter's Fury obliterated them.
Few layers too. I mean, Celsius, the bodyguard, playing inside the smoke, making sure
30
that
seconds
there was
left.
no punish in sight when Sassy was ulting.
Yeah. It's very solid stuff. And Gen G are just going to go for a save here after Caron got them a 1v3 to start their economy flourishing. SEN making sure it dampens just slightly. I don't
10 seconds
know
left.
whether they saw Zeken's operator this round. They didn't really interact with
I'm
it
not
very
too
much
sure.
because he went for the peak double doors at the beginning. I have a feeling that Gen G don't know that this is online. You can see he hasn't even shot a bullet. So that could certainly be another twist in the tail as we head into the next.
They're not revealing the hand that they have purchased that one. They might be able to check the money at least in the follow-up now into this round, but yeah, here's that play before as well. I mean,
it's so lovely.
Vulnerability as well.
Yeah, especially with
Celsius
Celsius throwing the snake bite.
Real nice.
Zeken is going to be here to try to receive this hit if it comes through A.
He's taking a gander through double doors, at least looking like he wants to. Wall.
I feel like this is going to be so difficult when Meteor has his Yoru online.
5 tags though. 2 found. Deep control of mid. Now Caron is playing a really far back position here. Just seeking to contain. Oh my god. Against the wall. Could just be walking straight into it. Shot missed though. It's a jiggle. And guess what? The entirety of the site has been gained. Given up entirely here just from that dimensional drift. Out of it now. Meteor with the plant.
And this is
securing
brutal.
it for texture.
This is brutal. You're going to end up having pulls on this. You've got people running, you know, Munchkin's got lineups that he can throw. Off-site post-plants buy time for post-plant lurks to come through, and this is the game plan for Gen G. SEN are not in a position to play this quickly. They have to clear so many areas and then put pressure so deep to punish Caron and Munchkin.
Already the lineup sailing across. Dart not quite broken. Reveal onto multitudes of targets. Again, this all causing issues, and it is too much to overcome, too much to clear. Ults are being rattled off here. Texture from the high ground, eventually traded, and now the flash, pop flash, round the corner, Tens. It was all dodge. Meteor! Massive play. Second sticking inside the cage, broken. Destroyed and dropped. Gen G finding that fifth, but you're right, Josh. It all began just how long it took SEN to really get their ground, get started onto the retake.
Frankly, the push into main, I have no problems with. Ten's doing a great job, but how is Meteor turning this and still getting a double kill out of it? If you remember back to the defense side pistol that SEN ran on this map against Gen G, they flash peeked Zeken in, Meteor dodged it, got the kill. I'm just getting flashbacks of that again. The Gen G players are so skilled and have demonstrated that all year. You think you haven't dead to rights, you simply do not.
Slight edge being held now for Gen G. Rounds have been oscillating wildly back and forth. It follows the trends. It's SEN's turn. Gen G playing quite split up though. 2 players. Texture and Caron. A dynamic duo. Been making waves. See if they can do any damage, at least focusing on that. That was a potential reclear being called there by SEN, and let's just go even.
And no flash peek being used there, so that was just a dry double swing. 1 for 1. And Munchkin's wall not going to be available to them if they hit A, so that puts more pressure on Caron now. But he still has the ult to be able to work with, so not a major problem for Gen G.
Aggressive Tens is holding this angle. Not a far back position. He wants to hold them before they can even get themselves into the choke. Locking it down. Deep dart. Potential setup. Waiting for the sound cue. Doesn't get broken.
Yeah, I think if that dart had been broken, he was looking to flash peek in there and make the play to win the round. The time is getting so low. If they can play in front of the Cosmic Divide, oh, Sassy goes down.
Head rips clean off, dart through into the back Cosmic Divide. Gives him the perfect exit strategy here. Pop flash through, but Texture, he was aware of it. Facing away or at least dodging it. And any chances for Sentinels into this round crumbled once more before our eyes. Again, Gen G in astounding control.
Commanding position there. Having lost the Viper early on, to still be able to deal with that A-main aggression and come out on top is pretty excellent. Gen G, we're talking about the fact that their composition, honestly, they're happier with it on the attack side, or at least people expect them to do more on the attack side with this comp. And that was what blew us all away when SEN played against Gen G last. Now we're really seeing how comfortable they are in these spots. It doesn't all have to be fast execs with the Jet and the Yoru. Celsius would love to keep the weaponry.
Oh, no way. Flash through.
He spotted Texture.
Plenty more players though. Texture spotted him. QT, last one left, slowly being hunted. We'll push back the enemies and adversaries, so they do keep at least one gun into the round, but already you're looking at almost similar scenes here. Here's that opening when they try to re-clear out through.
An unbelievable shot onto Munchkin, but the trade's still coming through. The level of quality in terms of the rifling in this match is unbelievable. But we didn't get to see it in the upper bracket final between these two teams. Sen talked about, Kaplan in particular mentioned, the atmosphere was bad when they began that game, and they crumbled on split. It set the entirety of the series off on a bad note, and Sen, though they tried to recover it on Lotus, ended up going out in a flop. Now we are actually seeing Zekken, TenZ, hitting really nice shots, bringing it to the Gen G players, making it more of a game that's about how they play the macro and how prepared Gen G are, rather than just running over them with the individualism.
Because that's the first step, right? To conquer Gen G, you kind of just need to be matching them pound for pound with the aim.
And man, how difficult that is, because Texture, Meteor, Karon are all up there with the best players in the world right now. In terms of form, they might be like all three in the top 5. I don't know who else you would put up there, because you watch Texture, Meteor, or Karon in a 1v1 against anybody else in this tournament, you have to favor them.
Yeah, you do. I mean, they're just cerebral. The way they move, instinctual in nature, really. The way they tackle and handle a lot of those clutches, and just the aim and the movement on top of it. It's all there, perfect package for a lot of those players. So that is the first obstacle that Sen have to remove. Getting that confidence back, at least. Making moves now towards mid, though, here. Creeping once more and crawling.
It's a kill trip, but with no one really to play off it here.
All given up, so Meteor once more building up towards Dimensional Drift. On his way through, he'll be able to clear out most of this side as well. Basically the human drone, just spotting out these trips. Kill trip, lucky. Oh. Wait a second, John QT is there onto the angle in time. Gets the punish onto Lakia. Karon, the chance really for him to clean up, but no, the crosshair placement just wasn't expecting that one. The deep contact play and push out from Sentinels. On the first time, it feels like they're in a really advantaged situation.
Yeah, definitely. They're realizing the fact that Karon and Munchkin are going to be playing in very passive positions. They found them both. They even isolate Munchkin, who's so far away. And yes, this has taken a lot of time, but it's set them up in a great situation to win the round.
Chance of playing the lineups anymore for Munchkin. Meteor, Texture have to go absolutely massive, but he instantaneous there with the trade and shut down in time. So the Sentinels are willing to make it that repeat of what happened last time these two teams clashed here. That 4th one on the board, steadily, slowly but surely, chipping away, trying to make it at least even at the half.
Look how John gets at it. It's after the kill trip came through, but it's this re-push, not looking to try to go for the retake at all, fully waiting to try to flush out Karon and Munchkin before they ever go towards site. It's a great adaptation. It shows that they understand how Gen G are playing the post plans. This is the kind of stuff that made Sentinel Split so scary. You know, we'll forget about the last 2 times they played it.
Yeah, I mean, they've had their confidence knocked there as well. You can tell that just from the way that the map veto ended up shaking out. Wasn't the first map that they ended up picking. Deep dive here, Texture want to take advantage of this one, but it's broken. Sassy using it. They did miss second. Hello, spots it. Up in the air. It's all about the reactions. Follow through there. Just a Clove and a shorty. Defending the area, and teammates flooding back in. All to his avail. Munchkin, though, has managed to get himself a gap into the A site, but the spike has been dropped down into the center of the mid, and it's all down to the individual plays. You can see Karon also thinking about the same thing here, and Munchkin. Full territory gain down into mid for Sen, but they need to keep their eye on almost every single angle here. And guess what? Plenty of backs facing away from them. Karon, it's majestic! And just like that, turned away, ripped away. What should have been a slam dunk, Sen left looking in every possible direction, barely able to get it, but they do in the end.
Karon with another one, another death blow, a dagger to the heart of Sen. Another round where Sen getting themselves into a hugely advantaged position, but because they played this specific style of using Zekken as bait and everybody flooding through from tunnel and double doors to try to help, they gave up the sights, and Gen G are just too smart with it. They read it, they react so quickly and get into positions where their players can pull off magic like that. Final round, Zekken glass cannon operator. You're watching here as he tries to take contact.
Dodging that initial wave of utility. Won't be too many targets.
Now, once more, Brent. Sassy drones out through B main, making it feel like perhaps there's some level of aggression happening over there. They're trying to prompt the reactions out of GENG. But this team is so smart. They wait for a full commitment before they decide to do stuff like that. And Munchkin's the playmaker actually here, making his way all the way up through halls. It's not a full commitment on the A split just yet.
Not quite.
Trying to make a play or get some info.
He does like to take the initiative though. That player to watch for here, Meteor. Holding. Kibi's a util, potentially the flash there, I believe, in his hands, but thinking twice about it. And again, it's just pure silence. They're letting Sentinels stew, hoping that they make a mistake.
No real reaction, though, from SEN. They're not going to get baited into defensive aggression.
Now the drone at least should trigger that reaction with the knife. Down, cancels it! Reactions there from Zekken. Repositions there with a dash, but might want another go. I think still with the door opened wide, he realizes it. His back is open to two different directions, and he's really got to try and watch this one here, at least get some help from the rest of his team. GENG are moving into the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, they're going towards Zelsis, who's reinforced with John Cudy's utility.
The players haven't budged, snared into space. Zelsis hearing that one broken, now wants to take the fight to him. Out wide, onto the wall here, Keron. He's worked and wiggled his way into the back of the side again. Back to it, reload! Oh my! 7 seconds left with the spike drop down. Sentinels surely are favoured, and yes, indeed they are. No chances here in the final round of this first half. Not for Munchkin. So maybe, gotta think it's a better look for Sentinels here on Breeze.
A much more competitive opening to this game on a map where most would write them off. GENG dominated this map when the sides were flipped last time we saw it. Here, great awareness, dodged the drone, used the knife to cancel it, punished the player coming in. There was a trip there onto texture. He had to kind of adjust in mid-air, and Zelsis caught him, plucked him out the air like a butterfly.
Absolutely insane stuff for the first half. Guess what? Plenty more left to go in Breeze. Let's send it down to the analyst desk to discuss everything so far.
Thank you so much. Wow, what a way to start things off. But let's just jump right into it. Our Verizon high-speed moment of the match came in the first half. We had multiple, as a matter of fact. It was kind of, you know, your choice, pick of the litter here, Hypoc, because Zekken, this kid's putting on a show today.
Yeah, I mean, just looks so clean time and time again in these high-pressure scenarios as well. Last alive here, like back against the wall to try and find a bailout round to really try and recover this. We're so used to seeing him now in this scenario.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous because this guy just turned 19 in his first international final. He had that birthday while he was here in Spain. And the journey for this guy has been long. When we first saw him internationally, he was only 17 years old, playing with Exet on stage. At the time I talked to, his parents were there with him, going along to Istanbul, but they've been with him the whole way. This is a picture from Americas of his grandma out with him, supporting in the crowd. He's a young guy, but he's had his family all the way behind him throughout his journey here in Valorant. And now he's at a point where he's in an international final and really in that discussion for best player in the world.
Yeah, what's so impressive here about Zekken is just not only does he carry himself like an absolute pro, but the man is just so meticulous in the server, Hypoc, but he's going to need to continue to output more if this team wants to get back into it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Josh was leaning on this in the cast as well. You've got people on the other side, Texture and Meteor to really overcome. Karen obviously being the clutch master on that controller role. Zekken's definitely going to have his hands full today if he wants to continue frontline versus this GENG roster.
GENG's post-plans got them a great half here, but their comp also excels in the retakes. They have a lot of util to bully Sentinels out. GENG looking strong in this first map.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult here for Sentinels. And for GENG, hey, it ain't going to be a walk in the park either. I'm expecting some fireworks in this second half. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
The pistol round is where it really needs to start here for Sentinels. I mean, we've already been highlighting the real importance of it. GENG winning, was it 6 out of 6 when they last played each other?
So now 7 out of 7. And heading into the 8th, Sen need to be able to get some of those online. And this is the half where we saw Sen have no success. Kaplan said that they came in with an anti-strat that they thought would work, but called it wishful thinking in hindsight.
Oh, ways Meteor just taking that fight straight up.
Good punish, though. A lot of damage. Yeah, it's not the kill, but they forced that back. Denied GENG a little bit of space. And now this drone's really going to make it feel like it's a commitment into B. Instead, the spike is going in the completely opposite direction. I think this is looking more like an A split where you rely on the fact that Zekken has holes control.
GENG, they do play to those sound cues. Oh my, just missing a chance and the timing there for TenZ, but with the orb now bloomed and blossomed, can start to get a move on onto the A side still. It's Karon. It's locked down into the corner position. Guess what? Zekken punishing the rotation, and 3 heads roll. Down and out here. Karon blinded as anything. Cannot win his fight out. Zekken, they're chanting for it. You can feel it. The roar of the crowd behind him. And he knows what they want.
TenZ spots him.
Munchkin spotted. Ow! Wow!
Denied, but that is the first pistol that SEN have put on the board in the rivalry that's blossoming between these two teams. And what a fantastic attack side strat that is. So much better against GENG than what they were pulling out in the 3rd map of the upper bracket final. They call a fake, they use the advantage of having map control, they use holes against a team that has a solo initiator. It just ticks every single box to me. Learning from the failures of before.
Of how rotate heavy GENG play, I mean, maybe a bit of fakes and finesse might be just exactly what Sentinels ordered. Clearly doing that prep work here. Now the orbs can be farmed up, granted for them, without too much pushback. Of course, got to be aware there's always a chance that they could fight back.
There's a slight bit of danger in this round, Bren, because Meteor managed timing the recon dart that Sassy threw into mid, I believe. So they have no idea that Meteor is positioned this deep, but no one on SEN looks like they want to get into that area at all. SEN running a default looking a little more like when Loud played against GENG, not going for the early round group ups in A main, but happily now grouping up together to make sure that they can trade out the lower eco players. And like I said, I don't think they realize that Meteor is this deep.
Meteor going for walkabouts as a face early on. John surely hearing this one now, facing him, but it's too much to overcome there. Meteor with that Sheriff, and again, a bit of stray damage through TenZ. Let's try and at least lock this one down in to the side of the...
He missed it!
Oh, but they have found him. Right-click bundle, diff, apparently so. 3 players still left to stand here for Meteor. Find that one, maybe could be a chance, but it does go down in the end, traded with the nade, flushed out wide, and found in the end. There it is.
It is a conversion for SEN. It looked a little difficult to be able to get across the line. It's always going to be tough when GENG have smokes that you have to play around. They're flashing into the smoke here to blind Karon. Clearly they have a good understanding of how Karon's going to be playing. I think one of the key antis that they came into the last time on Breeze was that knifing Karon so that he can't use pulls. They thought that would give them easy access to the A site. In fact, GENG have way more layers to it than that, but you can start to see SEN looking to break them down. And now coming into a bonus round. Do we have another great strategy called here by the brain trust of John and Kaplan? And Drew as well. I should give credit to my kilt-wearing neighbor from the north.
You certainly should, yeah. Takes a village, after all. But it has been evened up in terms of that scoreline, 7-2-7. And like you said, the bonus round is where Sentinels will look to see if they can get over that hurdle here. Texture, Toast, okay. Not going to be able to play anti towards that one, and everybody playing inside this cloud burst, not expecting him. He pounces up, already just locks that one down. These Sentinel players are left scrambling and wondering exactly where these players are coming from. Texture now with the dash. Smoke to play in for TenZ here, but how do you really overcome this? You just can't. It's just raw mechanical prowess on display. An easy one is what it feels like here for GENG, overcoming all sorts of obstacles that were thrown at them.
And I think that's an example of what was going wrong for SEN last time. GENG are just so good when it comes to defending the standard hits. And this is a very standard A split that Sentinels send in. GENG's crossfires are amazing. Karon can always play around Pyramid because he has smokes to dip and dive inside of. And then you have Lakia up towards stairs, Texture in that gutter. They've always got triangles going on that are extraordinarily difficult to break. The weakness with GENG's defense is to do with Lakia and him being overstretched, having to run around halls,
jump
a
spot
nest.
heard. Real opportunity for Zekken to get that punishment. You are right, it is that weakness. That's why they have to put bodies into it, but now a double walk up and face. Zekken Got to be ready for this one here. Is it going to be cleared? It's an off angle. Lakia in the crosshair. Precisely on exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah, great reclear. GENG are going to go for those occasionally because that is the weakness of their composition, and they need to make sure that they have info in that area of the map. Meteor going for an info peek when they're up 5v4.
Everybody's got their backs turned to every possible position. Texture, though, seems to be more aware of it than he is. Shuts down John QT. Sassy out in the open. Done into the back of the site, and it is traded and cleaned up by 10 still. Only 2 to left stand here for Sentinels. They will get control of the B side and the plan online. Even more so, try and overcome Texture, Lakia and Caron, taking their time with it.
They know that Zelsis does not have the orb on the spike. They can see that over towards mid. So he's probably not playing post plants, probably on site with 10s.
All up. Reclear. Just feeling unsafe, but they do take control of main once more. They can play this post plant from this position still. Smokes are available. Black, at least Caron puts that one up, but a kill found still. It's down to just 10s.
He's got to do it all.
Does have a nade, but still he's got to deal with this. And what a play to make. Texture so damn aware, but there's the shot still. Will the nade land in time? Lakia's sticking. Spam damage! He's just about got it! Unbelievable from 10s.
That is cold! That split-second decision to pull out the fragment grenade and make sure that you have additional damage. What a 1v3!
That's on a knife's edge though, isn't it? Look at it. But my God, look at it slow down.
Oh, very, very close. He's drawn the game back 8-8, where SEN actually have the economy advantage, putting together much better rounds, using more of the map. And GENG, even though they're finding advantages, letting that one slip away. This time, Munchkin going wandering, tucking underneath where John Cuty's playing. This is always a dangerous spot. It's obviously a risk. If the player on window checks, you're just 100% dead. But taking a risk on a round like this where you have lower economy is absolutely worthwhile.
Oh yeah, the time to do it.
And of course, he will be able to hear rotates if they go heavy towards B. And he'll hear them early enough to call those defensive positions.
Back here with the Bucky. I think he's going to be going for a peek here. Still wants to hold that close angle. The dart broken, it's going to be pulling players actually. Reaction out of GENG, thinking that, okay, well, his presence there, but now the drone adds another level to it. A bit of confusion into the camp for GENG, wondering where the hell are these players landing with only 40 seconds left. Time could start to become a problem, but Texture, he was the real danger in this round, at least with those knives, and with him shut down, now it opens wide, but Munchkin immediately there. No command sent flying, Bucky gaming! Lakia dropping 10 straight down to it. Removes him from the fight, aim in control. Granted and gained, tucks it up and doubles up. Now with the drone over, an attempt to punish Caron, running and gunning. Zelsis time, 12 seconds left. He needs to find this kill, but the rifle has been handed over, and so is the spike. John QT, head on a swivel. Too much to deal with, too much to overcome, and surrounded, man, surrounded.
That's the value of GENG taking risks. I'm telling you, Munchkin tucking into that spot. You won't see him do it often on a rifle round, but what a timing to do it. And Lakia, he gets the perfect glimpse of 10s right before that. But also, they had no idea that Caron had already pushed down through halls and was in this position. 10s is coming that there's only one person in A main there for sure, because they just had no clue that the Astra was also ready, holding Lakia's back during the drone. And just like that, all of 10's good work in the 1v3 undone in a moment.
Right back at it with the economical disadvantage.
And from watching GENG, they love using Meteor's ult to help them defend sites. It might seem weird using the Aura ult. That means there's another player that can't.
Oh, hello.
Huge pick.
Against his adversary as well. The Nemesis on the other side of things. A clear win con is that Zekin can shut down Texture as a player. It's a fast reaction going to be called here with a neural theft. Gives him a lot of information. Hunter's Fury. Sassy's hoping that he can at least set this one up. Meteor out wide here with a dimensional drift. He was hoping for a chance to really get that punish onto Sassy, but it's all cancelled in time, and now the rest of his team flooding in. Munchkin spots it, just the shoulder, and finally the kill. Straight to the dome, a wider peak indeed, but this is going to be face down and sprayed through entirely. 10s finally deals with him. pesky intruder to a site that should have been theirs. And Lakia is out wide, firing that util. A pull already going to be used and utilized, but 3 players left standing now for GenG. Meteor already in position. A 1v2 for Zelsis. Doesn't know where they are. Wall up, reposition spots. Karen, splash, blinded himself. Karen with the follow-up.
GenG bailing themselves out of a rough spot there. But I think one of the key problems is that when Sentinels got in position to try to hit the B site, I believe Zeken's waiting for another piece of utility there. He's just delaying, waiting to peek at the right time and sets up Munchkin for the triple kill. If they had been able to move a little faster and had that set up a little quicker, Munchkin probably ends up just going something like 1-for-1. SEN are in a much better spot. Nevertheless, that was an eco round for them. We come in 8-10. Rifles again online. And SEN on an eco swing round with big ults for GenG.
Massive ults. So far this map, I mean, it's just been a tenuous tightrope walk, hasn't it? Either side, just Thrifty's making it nice and even, a potential chance, but overall GenG just holding that edge.
They saw Lakia droning through double doors there, so they should have an idea that there aren't too many players halls unless it's being pushed. But that's not where Sentinels are going. Looking instead to dominate mid and set up this line. Karen is sometimes going to peek that, but it doesn't look like this round.
Textures planted himself onto the half wall. He's locking directly down into the tunnel angle.
Can they cause a distraction in B main that pushes people into Zeken's crosshair?
Oh, Zeken. It's all about the reactions, but Texture, of course, he's favored. On LAN, already in position. It's all on Zeken. Zelsis seeking to just sow that chaos and discord into the map, at least with the pit laid down. GenG feel it really imperative to try and clear this one, but they're already just losing players. Sentinels toppling like flies. Tens, he has worked his way deep. Gate crash now into the back of the site, so Meteor's going to be rejoining his team, and they have reinforced that area with 20 seconds left. What is the call? Jumping away and on high, but still they're surrounded with this pit. How did they even get themselves into the site? It's 12 seconds time working against them again. Lakia to play to do the most. Spoiler, there it is. Finally spraying them through with 5 seconds down. No chance of sticking. I don't believe there's any time. And even if there was, Lakia could have absolutely sealed it up anyway. Beautiful work from GenG.
And that round should be the first nail in the coffin here for map 1. They're going to push Sentinel's economy down into a really rough spot again. And Texture opening things up. It just looks so simple from his point of view. All of these GenG players, they're so skilled, they make it look easy. It certainly isn't. Almost every other team has struggled to deal with Sentinels. GenG are wiping them out. This is a map where they're favored. Sure, it's closer than it was last time. But it's remarkable as SEN take a timeout, what GenG have done with this squad. Yeah. This is not like SEN, where it's big, heavy hitters returning to the stage looking for redemption. GenG, this is a new roster. Sure, some people have been here before, but others brand new to a stage like this. And GenG are on a 9-match win streak, beating out DRX, becoming the top Korean team, beating PaperX, becoming the top Pacific team, and then beating every other team in Madrid playoffs to find themselves here with map V2 advantage in the Grand Finals, 2 rounds away from locking up map 1. To say the pressure doesn't faze them, I think would be an understatement. They look elated on stage.
Just having fun. They're happy to be here, absorbing it all up. And yeah, I mean, listen, the pressure probably would have gotten to some of these players a little bit ahead of time when they're playing against the top, at the time, Korean team. That was DRX, even in just the kickoffs. I mean, GenG, this is a squad that was put together and really had a tremendous amount of doubters. But they have slowly but surely knocked down every single obstacle they faced and more.
And now the pressure is on SEN's side. They've taken this tactical timeout, and it's going to be for this round. This is them forcing up, trying to stop GenG from getting to 12. Little jump peek there in case Texture was on the angle.
Deep knife. Cage to cover their cross as well, looking to try and split themselves into B. Now there are players here, great dash forwards with that flash. It's all combined and calculated. Munchkin layers it down now with the pits. dropping down in this position. He's already found Celsius. Where's the follow-up? Where's the follow-through? It's not there. Keron, the supportive util, the smoke to just prop it up and divide up the entirety of the site. And now a tasty morsel has been claimed with the spike drop down. The advantage again, rolling its way to Gen G. It's Sentinels that are forced to react.
Unbelievable play from Munchkin. How he's got the awareness and the composure to do that boggles the mind.
Here.
This is an almost impossible spot that Zekken and John find themselves in.
Gen G are not giving him anything. Diligence off the charts here.
No crumbs.
Slight jiggles onto the angle, never overextending. 30 seconds remaining.
Left.
Texture. Stray shot fired here, potentially just catching a glimpse. Opens wide again. John QT, that was his only chance, but
there goes the op.
Is there, op down, still 18 left, and they have to deal with Munchkin. Smoke down, grabbed and out, dash forwards, but Munchkin again, they weren't expecting it right from behind. It's the IGL Oasis. And credit where credit is due for this guy. Munchkin, one of the players with the most international experience. He's been to these events before, but guess what? On a completely different team. And the deepest runs he's ever been, 9th to 10th.
And now finding himself pushing up with an ace to get to map point in the first of the Grand Finals. And not just any old ace, not an eco ace, in an incredibly important round, under so much pressure, pitting, running towards his opponents, making a mockery of them. SEN have to force up again, but it's odds and ends. It's not looking strong.
Scraps, man. Pure scraps. Take flight. Poison's off. Have to drag it into that territory to stand a chance in this round against Gen G.
And I think they've found the most success when they've tried to find people, push people into aggressive positions, but that's almost impossible to feel good about lurking and then taking a 1v1 if your player has, you know, a bulldog or a stinger even.
Yeah.
You just don't feel favored.
Contacting as well onto these angles with texture, opping. It's apparent, it's known. Puts that little bit of fear, that little bit of doubt into the back of your minds. John QT, it's all about the corners being cleared, and guess what? Doesn't look like he wants to open himself up to it.
He's not thinking about it.
Not thinking about it at all. Lakia, punishment is there in place, over the top with the knives, dodging, dashing, and away, but one blade left. And Zekken needs that rejuvenation, he's got it, but instantly again, Keron, the trade is there. Fundamentals off the bloody chart for Gen G, and this is it, surely, with the map pushed into the positions, already there. Clone revealed the position, flash through into the box, Sassy's out, wide and alone. Scared for his life, too much to deal with, indeed. Gen G lead the charge here in our Grand Finals of Madrid, taking map 1.
Looking calm and collected, doing it too. It could be a long series, but Gen G are going to try and wrap it up as quickly as possible. They had the double map bans, they got to pick the first, and they've set the tempo. Certainly closer than last time, but as soon as Gen G got onto the defense side, it looked like some of the same difficulties again.
Absolutely, and plenty of questions up in the air as well. Bind is up next. Gen G haven't played it at all so far at this tournament. What are they going to be coming out with here in our Grand Finals?
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle, you're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you
What a fantastic start it is for Gen.G. I'm now joined by their coach Solo and Jen to do some translations. Now, the last time you faced them on this map, it wasn't as competitive. They clearly made some adjustments coming into this. Did you guys also have to make some adjustments on Breeze as well?
감독님, 지난번 센티널스를 만났을 때보다 훨씬 더 접전인 경기가 펼쳐졌는데요. 센티널스도 많이 준비를 해왔고 또 젠지에 맞춰서 좀 카운터를 많이 준비해온 것 같았는데 젠지도 오늘 하면서 좀 즉석으로 전략에 변화를 주던가 아니면 어떤 준비를 했는지 궁금합니다.
저희가 원래 하던 대로 하려고 했는데 그 센티넬이 생각보다 라우드식으로라고 해야 되나? 준비를 잘 해왔더라고요. 그래서 저희는 라우드식으로 하면 어떻게 이겨야 될지 알고 있었기 때문에 그 후반전에는 좀 저희가 좀 더 수비적으로 해서 게임을 이긴 것 같다고 생각합니다. 네.
Well, in the beginning, we tried to play our own game, but Sentinels have done an incredible job coming in heavily prepped, and I feel like today they were playing more of a loud style, so we were trying to figure out how to counter that, and in the second half, we tried to be more defensive and less progressive, I guess, proactive, and trying to counter that loud type of style that Sentinels were pulling out.
Oh, that was a great game plan. Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you very much. Good luck in map 2.
Gen G picking up right where they left off when they defeated Sentinels on Breeze last time. This time, though, you got a Sentinels that had a bit more up their sleeve, but I think it goes without saying, Gen G, they knew exactly what the game plan was getting ready for this one, Mimi. They had to beat them on Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, like the coach was saying there, they absolutely did. Sentinels, I think, changed up a lot of their ideas coming into this, but Gen G did a great job of adapting, slowing down from going for these forward aggressive plays on their defense, instead playing more of these set retakes with the Euro Flash dart combos, and it worked really well.
Yeah, and I think as well, the key thing to know here is every time we watch Gen G, the protocols, the fundamentals, they seem to improve time and time again. And Sentinels are the perfect sort of team to dismantle that sort of play style. And I mean, players like Karen, obviously Texture, Meteor, the ones that we time and time again talk about, these ones really actually reinforcing that play style.
Yeah, I mean, they're also, if we want to take a look at a specific round 17, I mean, this came off of a 1v3 from Zek and Mimi, and then Gen G's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, I really thought that second clutch was going to be the turning point for Sentinels to maybe take this map home, but this round was utterly pivotal. When we talk about Gen G, we tend to really focus on the fundamentals, how good they are at converting advantages, being clean in their trading, but they win a lot of scrappy rounds too. And this in particular is a great example of how good they are at kind of disrupting those timings, getting weird in those thrifties, and oftentimes coming out on top.
Yeah, capitalizing, being creative and reactive to what's going on is also something Gen G have excelled at, and really that comes down to Munchkin being the one to really take hold of take hold of the mid round and actually push the heat back onto IGLI John QT that we've kind of bigged up as that's where he excels, the mid-round, the reaction to information gathered across the map.
Yeah, of course. But let's go ahead, though, and take a look real fast at our aim lab shoot-around with 10s as we break down what we should be expecting here on Bind coming up next.
Yeah, the entry duo for Sentinels, Second and 10s, did well this map. 10 and 4 in their opening kills. I think they were taking over a lot on the attacking side in a way they weren't in the last Gen G series. However, Gen G's really good at sneaking in, converting those advantages, making the hero plays when they need, and that's what won this map.
All right, well, I do want to hear what Coach Kaplan actually has to say before we get into map 2. He's always got to drop some nuggets. Let's see what he has for us as we get ready for Bind.
I'm now joined by Coach Kaplan from Sentinels. Now, you guys looked a little bit more comfortable on Breeze this time around, but looking at the rest of the map pool, no Lotus, no Sunset. So what other areas do you feel like you guys feel comfortable on right now and could potentially give you a map pool advantage?
I mean, we feel really good about Bind and Split. We feel great about SEN after yesterday, too. I would say Icebox, out of the maps left in this series, is our least comfy, so I was relieved I was relieved they put a SEN ahead of Icebox for us. Yeah, and that's where we're at with maps.
Thank you very much, Kaplan, and let's see if they can indeed bring it back on Bind.
Well,
I'm now joined by Coach Kaplan from Sentinels. Now, you guys looked a little bit
Split,
Yeah, exactly,
the map that has been their home this entire tournament. Even back in Americas, they looked incredible there. So honestly,
I mean, they rattled them so much that they gave them the play. They gave PaperX the playbook when they played against Sentinels last time.
I mean, it is crazy to think that Sen has lost their best map twice in a row now. And I'm not going to focus on hindsight because they were amazing at that map, and they still are.
It takes nothing away, but I think it gives massive credit to the teams that can dislodge that sort of statement.
And it really goes to show how close all these top teams are, that you can big up all the fundamentals, all the ideas Sentinels take, but it just takes one good day of prep, one good team showing up, and that can really change.
All right, well, we do have the Agent Select coming up here. We'll see what we end up getting. And again, I think really it's just, as we keep saying, you know, Hypoc, it's just going to come down to the margins really at the end of the day. The small details between these two teams.
Yeah, don't expect any changes here. We're not seeing any, obviously, GENG previously. Whether or not this is a comfort pick for them coming out of the Grand Finals. Only saw 2 occurrences of it regionally, but they look damn good at it. A close fought affair with DRX, sure, but that Finals versus PaperX, this was the home stretch for them.
I think the struggle for GENG will be playing the solo Sky here, not having that refreshable utility that the Gecko gives you. Sentinels can re-clear extremities, can have that Dizzy back online. GENG, on the other hand, doesn't.
It's time to see who has the better ideas here on Bind. And let's go ahead and send it to your cast. You got Sideshow, and I had to say it, Bren, the birthday boy. Love you, buddy. Have fun.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Bind being a stage that has been set here between these two teams now for map number 2, and it's a series of unknowns really for GENG. I mean, we haven't seen them pull this out in quite some time. They are running the same comp as they did when they qualified for this event, Madrid, just before it all occurred in the kickoff. And yeah, some question marks really about their play, about Sen's preparation, how comfortable they are going to be heading into this. Now, clearly, there is some level of that. It was the first map the Sentinels got their pick of when they actually got to, wrangle that map, pull that map veto out of the hands of GENG.
Pistol round again. Very clear focus. GENG looking to fight over Shower's control. That's where Tens and Zekken both are.
They are rapid onto the corner here. White face, 3 players though left to fight them. Tens hightailing it out of there. Backs away. Does a smoke drop down at his feet as well, just to cover that retreat.
Looking like they want to take another fight immediately over towards short. Tens just trying to make sure that nobody walked up behind the Viper wall. Risky to try to take that kind of play, hoping to catch a timing on Munchkin. Had he gone for that? GENG's approach here is quite slow. Sassy's already used one of his flashes just to let him know that Fountain was clear at the beginning of the round. But now Lucky and Munchkin gaining information, peeking into John.
John should see this, as you said here, with the jiggle. A little bit of damage done.
But John, look, not pushed off that angle. So still getting information that Hookah is clear. That's going to keep 2 players over towards A.
Right here.
So if GENG were hoping that that play would open up A as the weak site, it's not going to be the case. Zels is still with Molly.
Whistle though will be about to be set up here. Now, what's the emphasis being placed towards this A side? With the dogs straight through to Molly doing a bit of damage. It has slowed them down. I realize Showers is open. The reposition out into the back of the site. Dizzy up and away. Broken in place. Sassy, good kill. Wingman with the swing. They are absolutely running over these GENG players. It was the fast TP and a wrap around. Shut down. Sentinels, a pistol round gained. And just in time for them.
Fantastic pistol. Completely turning the tide of the narrative in the previous match that GENG were dominating all of those important rounds. And the player to watch there was Tens. He did such a good job. That's a fantastic play from Sassy too, but I love the wingman usage. I love the double up with Zelsis and Zekken. And making sure that they catch Meteor. To me, when I watched GENG last time playing on the attack side on Bind, the player that stood out to me was Meteor. He gets so aggressive on Cypher.
Oh yeah.
A little Alpha Yer-esque.
A lot of solo takes into Showers. This time though he's supported with the whole pack almost here. Still Outlaw. Texture meets his match, drops to the floor, and these are kills that you don't really want to be funneling into Zekken. Don't want him to get those showstoppers online, but with Showers control gained, peace of mind granted for but a moment. They still need to deal with potential lurks.
They've actually pinged out where John Cutie was playing in the previous round, and everybody on GENG looking to group up over towards Hookah. So perhaps, you know, because they found that positioning previously, they're going to look to try to punish it.
There.
Look, again, setting up, making sure the crosshairs are in the right place, but John playing a different angle.
Yeah.
Escapes without any danger.
Good jump spot from Tens too. GENG again, the whole pack just roaming around here, looking for those openings. Here's Meteor. Talk this guy up. bigged him up for good reason. His mechanical ability's off the chart, and he can just solo open things up. Cool, calm, and collected with the aim. Has to really steady the hand now through and out into the site. They have dropped the players for assaulting the positions.
30 seconds
Karen
left.
spotted. Ten's holding position, just waiting for these reinforcements to come through. It's looking fairly clean. Nicely done from Sentinels. Ten's building up to what looks like a fairly speedy Thrash, which could be a massive ultimate to work with. I think this is the dangerous side, actually, for Sen. When I was watching them play this composition against Heretics, bearing in mind that we've only seen them play it once, they've really adjusted their defensive setups, or at least did in that game. Whereas previously, when they played the Yoru, they were focused heavily on Showers and B-Long. We saw much heavier focus towards Hookah, Shaw on defense.
Seems to be a return to that, right?
It seems to a little bit, but bear in mind we've only seen it once prior to this. So that could have just been their game plan against Heretics. This defensive setup, for example, much more reminiscent of what they've been doing early on in this game, and more similar to what they've done classically on the map.
Here's the Meteor Classic, as I was talking about. I mean, the guy just likes to go walkabouts. Solo plays towards Showers. He tries to play off the timings as well, and noise that the rest of his team makes.
And I would say that this is Munchkin's weakest map individually. I think that's one of the reasons. Amazing spot here, you know, Guardian, Bulldog coming into the next one. And there was certainly danger. I love this decision to fight back site. It was a little disjointed from GENG, but a nice call. And Sen's defensive setup again prioritizes Showers at the start of the round and B-Long. Quite different from the last time they played against Heretics.
Certainly does. It's time to be split. Waiting out the molly, and Texture's just not scared at all. Look at this guy, wide facing. Not worried at all with the wall was down. Plenty of angles left and waiting. Flash through there, getting the acknowledgement. Tens, what is the call to be made? They are really just out wide and open. If this wall goes down, they should know the timing for it, but it's going down. Flash through and out. There it is. Meteor falls, deleted. Lakia!
How's he done that?
Away, I'm not too sure. Jumping up and hopping up. That was a trailblazer kill that I just saw filling up the feed, but the spike dropped down. Texture will seek to reclaim this one, and all this action has happened with still a minute left on the clock.
What is Munchkin's call here? Zelsis is still waiting over by Showers, expecting them to use that teleport, because Sentinels have lost B-Long control. Love the play from Sassy and Tens, going for a fake B-Long re-clear and then a real one afterwards with the wingman. But it still left things in an even scenario. This is still looking like they could take the teleporter, but Munchkin's getting into more and more of a committed position.
30 seconds
Slowly
left.
now assuming correct positions, like they want to try and exec themselves into this site. Here it is. Munchkin has a snake fight, will send it flying. That's just to block off that CT exit and entrance. Still the face, and the fight is called. Munchkin, a lot more left to do now here with only a few seconds left. Removes the Seeker, it was pesky in his face, a bit of a problem, but again, time against him. And with the spike in the middle of nowhere,
no time.
Clear wing cons, acknowledged there. Zelsis, yeah, he runs his way out.
Very well handled from Sentinels in this round, and Sassy stepping up. A lot of what Sassy has been doing on this team in this new version of Sentinels has been purely supportive. You don't often see him at the top of the scoreboard, putting himself in good positions to dominate in the same way that we saw him when he was on Loud. But this round, finding great impact. With the re-clear, with the swings as well, shutting down GENG. And all of that economic damage that Sentinels did on the bonus now really paying dividends.
Stacking up. It's a much weaker buy and approach here for GENG. They're sending out that cross-map molly. Should be familiar with it by now. It's going to be landing onto B-Long. Allows Texture to claim that ground. Slowing it down. In the right moment, waiting for the team to back him up right behind him here. Classic playbook of GENG, just contacting in, hoping that they can take a fight and trade it out if it goes poorly. Sassy is the one to watch for here, and look at that Texture. I mean, insane awareness, shots fired and rattled, but there it is, Zelsis returning. Few of his own, the spam battle won out, or at least evened out.
Evened out, and Munchkin is looking to try to take this timing down short. He's posted himself in an aggressive position. Second and Tens want to re-clear.
Oh, theft, molly was sent flying.
Oh, they missed it!
Oh, he missed it! Still walking into the molly. How are GENG finding all of these kills are onto the A side already?
That is ridiculous!
I thought Tenzin Zekken had the awareness that Munchkin was there, and Zekken, he ends up getting caught as well, so giving away his positioning. He's going to have to pull out heroics to get this. It's looking awesome for GenG.
Yep, doesn't do anything there. GenG double tap. Almost every position accounted for. Sentinels. Yeah, decisions be made for them. Backing away from this one.
Brutal decision that they have to make in this spot. But terrible economy on Tens, Celsius, Sassy as well. How have GenG managed to pull that one away?
That's a confusing one.
It felt very similar, though, to that eco round that ended up swinging things when the score was something like 8-8, 8, you know. I think it was round 17, actually, yeah, on Breeze, where Munchkin tucked underneath window over towards B, and he made that aggressive move, and he got rewarded for it. And this is similar again. There's a distraction play over towards B, and Munchkin gets into position. This opener is lovely, but I think what actually ruins them, oh, that's brutal. He just didn't hear the molly or realize. But this is the play that I think wins the round for them. Munchkin finds the timing to be able to punish Tens and opens up the A site for his team to rotate. SEN have been aware of that before. Tens was looking to re-clear, but they just didn't go deep enough down short to catch Munchkin hiding behind that box. Flips the economy on its head. But actually, GenG are taking 2 Guardians into the round. 3 players that'll die to a double tap.
Really just trying to min-max as well. That money. Keep it flowing. Face now out wide. Munchkin. Great awareness and even better aim! Do a bit of that damage, but yeah, guess what, Meteor's not letting him get away with that.
Punishing the gun pickup instantly there. And I said earlier that from what I'd watched in Pacific, I thought Bind was Munchkin's weakest map individually. And I also said earlier that when I think about GenG, I'm thinking mainly about Texture, Caron, Meteor being the 3 powerhouse players. When Munchkin 3 powerhouse players. When Munchkin is finding plays and finding moments and winning duels like this, I truly believe this team's unbeatable.
Nade off the Dizzy's contact and a fight as well out into the open. Is the one who's going to be coming up on top. Seekers here out. There's a little bit of chaos now. Strone really into the mix here with the orbital strike. Was committed. No kill from that one though. And GenG wounded. Be limping themselves away now back over towards that A site.
They know that Zelsis took the teleporter, so they know that there's a Brimstone around there with ult to be able to deny the plants. This isn't a round where GenG can just try to fight quickly. They actually smoked off the teleporter at the very beginning of the round as they took Sand